Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Former acting police commissioner Khomotso Phahlane has been forced to apologize for saying the police ad hoc committee evidence leader is part of a cabal that's targeting him. Phahlane appeared before the committee in Parliament yesterday, where he accused evidence leader Norman Arendse of acting on behalf of former IPID head Robert McBride, who he had earlier accused of trying to get him fired. Phahlane was responding to questions, including about his relationship with Vusmuzi Katmatlala and his removal from the SAPS in 2017. Babalondenze reports.
Khomotso Phahlane's evidence started off on the wrong foot yesterday when MPs rejected his request to not be asked questions about certain issues. Phahlane also lost his cool during questions from evidence leader Norman Arendse about forensic reports implicating him.
I can't continue to be attacked by the senior counsel in the manner that he is doing. I don't know who is he representing.
I'm not representing anybody. I am putting...
You are representing Robert McBride and you are representing the cabal that you are party to.
Shocked members of the committee told Phahlane to apologize and withdraw his remarks.
I unconditionally withdraw and apologize to the honorable members of this committee and the evidence leader.
Arendse said he was disappointed in Phahlane, adding that he had no links to McBride before his appearance before the committee. Babalondenze, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
The ANC in Johannesburg says it's frustrated by repeated attempts to remove its mayor, Dada Morero, from the city's highest office. Morero was set to face a no-confidence vote yesterday, but the parties that filed it were nowhere to be found when it was time to debate the motion. Councillors from Al Jama, the UDM and ATM, who were behind the motion, walked out just before it was called. Since December, Al Jama has submitted 3 unsuccessful motions against the mayor, despite being part of the ANC-led coalition government. Alfara Mushwana reports.
The city of Johannesburg is governed by a coalition made up of the ANC, EFF, Patriotic Alliance and smaller political parties including Al Jama. The Al Jama party also has one of its councillors and former mayor Thapelo Ahmad serving in the mayoral committee as the MMC for community development. Despite having representation in the executive, Al Jama continues to call for Morero's removal from office. ANC Regional Secretary Sasabona Manganye says the party is tired of all these failed no-confidence motions.
That whatever concerns they have, they allow us to work with them in addressing those particular issues. But I can tell you, in whatever concerns they have, none of those concerns are worth a motion of no confidence.
Morero has survived 3 motions of no confidence from Al Jama and 1 from the DA over the past year. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
The International Relations Department says it'll get to the bottom of how South African men were lured to fight in Russia's war against Ukraine under false pretenses. After spending months in the front lines, the South African government has managed to bring back 11 of them home this week. The department confirmed yesterday that 2 other South Africans died in Russia. Minister Ronald Lamola, who met with the families yesterday, promised that justice will be served. Department spokesperson Crispin Peary.
The government continues to investigate the networks involved in these recruitment efforts to ensure that those who exploit vulnerable citizens face the full might of the law.
The department says it will now assess if there are any others who could still be abroad. And Hilary Clinton's testimony about the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein has ended with the former U.S. Secretary of State saying she wants the truth to come out. Proceedings were abruptly paused earlier in the day due to a photo leak from inside the closed-door session with U.S. lawmakers. Democrats on the Republican-led House Oversight Committee defended Clinton and say the release of the photo was completely against the rules. Speaking outside the hearing, she echoed her opening statement, which accuses Republicans of political theater and calls on them to request President Donald Trump to testify. Clinton says she has no information on Epstein's crimes and does not recall ever meeting or speaking to him.
But whatever they asked me, I did my very best to respond. It was disappointing that they refused to hold a public hearing, so I wouldn't have to be out here characterizing it for you. You could have seen it for yourself. We had asked for that. We think it would have been better for the committee and its efforts to gather whatever information.
Her husband, former U.S. President Bill Clinton, is set to testify today, and he's previously said he took trips on Epstein's plane but denies any knowledge of or involvement in Epstein's crimes. Gold is trading at $5,189.48 an ounce. The rand is at 15.91 to the dollar, 21.47 to the pound, 18.78 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $70.70 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident reported on the M1 North right after Boyson's Road. It's already causing heavy traffic volume, so please be on the lookout there and try use alternative routes. You can still use the N1 North through the Soweto Highway. And then if you're traveling in the city of Tshwane, we've got delays along the R80 East approaching Eskom-Pahlele Drive.
And in your sport, the Proteas look unstoppable after yesterday's 9-wicket win over the West Indies at the T20 World Cup. In golf, after the first round of the Investec SA Open, South African Dean Burmester leads by 1. Pirates boosted by 2 key players ahead of tomorrow's Soweto Derby, and the Sharks without major names for tomorrow's URC battle with the Bulls.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng with scattered showers and thundershowers expected. Johannesburg starting at 16 degrees, peaking at 27. Pretoria 18 and 29. Vereeniging 16 and 28. The top story in EWN this hour. Former Acting Police Commissioner Khomotso Phahlane has been forced to apologize for saying the Police Ad Hoc Committee evidence leader is part of a cabal that's targeting him.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app. Get your brain in the game and win big on the brain of 702. Enter now on primemediaplus.com. T's and C's apply.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
8 minutes after 6 o'clock. Welcome to 702 Breakfast. My name indeed is Bongani Bingwa. It's a Friday, and we're going to have our political desk looking at the week that was, but specifically trying to get a sense of what's going on in Johannesburg. Where is the system not coming together as it is designed? Do you know your ward councillor? Is there a ward committee in your area? Who is on that ward committee? What do they do for your ward? Or do you get more done as part of a residents' association? Has a ward councillor ever come back to your community to say the issues you've raised about this or that or the other, I have dealt with? The city is going to respond in this way. So is the ward system in Johannesburg broken? Do we need a deputy mayor? Or do you look at all of this and shake your head and say this is all about ANC politics? And now, of course, there are going to be 2 centers of power, right? The mayor's office and the deputy mayor's office, because the deputy mayor is the regional leader of the ANC, the party that leads the metro. It's all a mess, isn't it? Paul O'Sullivan, why did he walk out? Why did he walk out? Did he thumb his nose at the ad hoc committee in Parliament? Or was there an agreement that he would leave at 1 o'clock anyway? Is it political posturing by political parties playing to the gallery, knowing the cameras are on and wanting to show their supporters, we're not afraid of that man? Or was he just simply being arrogant?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Our big interview this morning is with Soviet Likhanyane, who is the Parliament Ad Hoc Committee Chair. That ad hoc committee specifically investigating alleged criminality in our law enforcement. What really happened yesterday? What was supposed to happen? And what are they going to do about it?
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
In the meantime, the former acting police commissioner, Khomotso Phahlane, was forced yesterday in Parliament to apologize. Remember, he said the police ad hoc committee evidence leader is part of a cabal that's targeting him. I'll put that as well to Soviet Likhanyane. Phahlane was before the committee yesterday, where he accused the evidence leader, Norman Arendse, of acting on behalf of the former IPID head Robert McBride, Phahlane was also responding to questions about his relationship with Vusumuzi Kat Matlala and his removal from SAPS in 2017. Khumuzo Phahlane climbed down. Why couldn't Paul O'Sullivan?
Let's walk the talk.
702.
As always, of course, I'm not alone. I'm with a team of friends, of colleagues. Behind the scenes, you've got the producers, Baphelile, Ropfiwa, Katleho, who's been shadowing the show for the last week or so. KG starting the clock. I wonder what mix he has on a Friday. And, of course, my colleagues, Amo Ramila and Muteo Khoripe. Good morning to you two. Good morning, Amo.
Good morning. Morning, Bongani. Morning, 702 Landers.
Isn't Friday the happiest day of the week?
It is.
Muteo, am I wrong?
Morning, Bongs. I see you looking forward to your weekend in shorts and all.
I've been shorts. I'm wearing my Pirates t-shirt, ready for the derby.
At this point, I can't even blame you for wearing your jersey the day before the game because, the way Orlando Pirates has been playing, I don't know what's the formula anymore.
It's my good luck.
This is your good luck.
Yes.
Okay, then.
Because I know Muteo refuses to wear the jersey before the game, right?
It doesn't matter these days. They lose
You
anyway.
jinx it. Maybe we should all have worn our Pirates jersey.
Maybe
Just
we
go
should
back
have.
Right?
to wearing the jersey.
It's 12 minutes after 6.
Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
On 702. Let's walk the talk.
But as always, before we do anything else on a Friday, let's open this weekend, hey? Shall we open this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Shall we Vula the gate? John Vula gate. Let's shoot for the moon. Do you remember Nosiviwa Mapisa Ngakula? There's this thing, yeah, moon. What is this thing, yeah, moon? A one, 2, 3.
It's a Friday. It's a Friday. It's a Friday.
With all of that out of the way, you can call us, of course, on all the issues we raise on the show. 011 883 0702. We'll take your WhatsApp voice notes on 072 702 1702. I do want you to have a listen to what unfolded in Parliament yesterday, as I say, at the ad hoc committee looking at investigations of alleged criminality in our law enforcement. Perhaps let's start with that moment. The Umkhonto weSizwe party MP David Skosana was putting questions to Paul O'Sullivan about an historical link allegedly to a case in Randburg. It's less about the case for me and the details of that, and more about how that line of questioning led to the rising tensions. And you can kind of see this build-up that eventually gets us to the point where Paul O'Sullivan leaves. Have a listen.
Are you a women abuser?
Definitely not, Chairman.
Because your ex-wife here, do you remember that case which was opened in Randburg?
This was in the last century.
It doesn't matter when, Chair. I'm asking a quick question. Are you a woman abuser because your wife complained he opened a case against you?
And the answer is no,
Odena, Jadet, or Sullivan?
I'm not a woman abuser.
Yeah, but your wife says so here. And you paid as well. You admitted here. I've got this with me here. I'm stacking it.
This matter was discussed at the last time we were in session.
No, but you're asked by me now. It's me who's asking you now.
And I want to explain the answer I gave then, which is the same answer I'm giving now. An allegation was made after an incident took place. I denied the allegation at the time, and my attorney advised me, Paul, you just pay this admission of guilt fine. I think it was 500 or 600 rand.
No, it's not true as well, that money. It's not true.
Well,
you see what I mean? Is it really about alleged criminality? I know Julius Malema has made this point, hasn't he, Muteo Khoripe, about why O'Sullivan's background matters and why their line of questioning has been about, who are you?
Yeah, because Julius Malema was at pains to say, look, we are drilling at who you are, your qualifications, because you have been saying you're an expert, you have been consulting on all different levels, even within government, especially in policing. And this is why we need to find out who you are, if you're qualified. And you coming here, your character is the one that's in question. And we need to find out what type of person you are.
So was he always going to bristle at questions around even his personal affairs? Are you a wife abuser? There was a case laid against you. Could Paul O'Sullivan push back and say, hang on, I'm here voluntarily. Yes, I have all these credentials. Yes, I've been involved in very high-profile investigations that put powerful people behind bars. Yes, I have information. You don't have to like me, but I've got information that could assist you. And here we are, delving into my past and who I am. And this is suddenly, didn't Kwanazi make allegations about me capturing? Am I part of a cartel? Could he make that argument? The tensions continued, of course, in terms of the confrontations. Here's another moment with David Skosana of MK Party.
Because you know why?
No, you can't tell me why. You let me finish answering. Tell me why you think.
So you will tell me to dictate to me.
You see, Chairman, this is the problem I'm having. I've got a very antagonistic person here who wants to.
I'm a member of Parliament. I'm not a person. You can say a member of Parliament here.
Very antagonistic member of Parliament here who is trying to talk me down, belittle.
No, we are attacked. Anyway, we are attacked.
And be as arrogant as he accuses me of being.
Yeah, but we are attacked.
The reality is, my investments in Centelina have got absolutely nothing to do with the reason we are here.
Because you are a spy. You are hiding things because you are a spy. And you will never accept here, like any other spy, besides the other witness we had yesterday. Paul, is it your UK number 243028818?
I don't know what he's talking about.
No. I'm asking you. You must say no if it's not true.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about your army number in the UK.
Chairman, I'm being told now that I'm a spy.
No, you're a spy, yes.
Sorry, Chairman, I'm not going to put up with this rubbish. I am having this being repeatedly told by this member that I'm a spy.
And from there, it just disintegrated. You're a thug. You're a spy. And he says, this person, no, don't call me a person. Call me a member of Parliament. Which way do you dice it? Were the politicians, and this is not about whether you like Paul O'Sullivan or not. This is not whether or not you think he's a humble man. Was it political posturing? Was it that they were going to get him and they wanted to be seen to be getting him? Or do you think Paul O'Sullivan was arrogant in walking out, having faced the kinds of questions that you've just heard in that exchange? And of course, this was the big moment, was it not?
Who have multiple passports. That doesn't make them all members of a crime syndicate. If General Khumalo wants to tailor evidence to point in that direction, let him also tailor the evidence showing what crimes it is I'm alleged to have committed. Because absolutely I have not been involved in any crime syndicates of any nature whatsoever. And that, unfortunately, is, I have reached a point now, Chairman, where I have to go.
No, Chair, he's not going to leave. It's not going to leave. She's going to ask her questions. He's not going to leave. If he leaves here, he's walking out. He's not going to leave until you release him. He's walking out of Parliament.
Yes.
Oh.
Chair, he cannot be allowed. He's doing the same thing with Patoy. You can't live here. Yes. We are appealing this before us.
Unfortunately, I made it clear.
We don't care about your flight.
Thank you.
You're not being released here. You must be arrested. We'll open a case now.
Pardon?
We'll open a case no. Now. This man must not be allowed to go out of this country.
I did not come here on a summons. I came here of my own free will, and I'm leaving.
So that was the moment it all came to a head. He packed up his bags and he left. He argued that he had a flight to catch. He says there was an agreement with the chair to let him leave at the time that he left. That was arranged before. We'll speak to the chair of the committee to confirm whether all of that was true or not. And of course, as you can hear in that clip, they're threatening to arrest him. And this was Paul O'Sullivan's response to that threat.
I'm not going to have somebody telling me I'm going to be arrested, I can't leave. That's rubbish. I came here voluntarily. I didn't come here under a summons and all that. These people seem to make up their own rules as they go along. I didn't have my say because they obstruct you from having your say.
So what's needs to be answered now is what happens to somebody who comes to a proceeding like this and then walks out. The big argument Paul O'Sullivan makes there was that he was there as a voluntary witness, and therefore he was not subpoenaed, he was not mandated to stay or answer any questions, and if that's what they want, then that's what they would need to do. Where will it go?
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
21 after 6, Mateo Kharipa, you've got a question of your own?
Yeah, I want to know this morning, are you quick to lose your patience with people that don't do what you've asked them to? Let's say you ask somebody, can you get me some water from the kitchen? And it takes a few seconds and you're like, you know what, leave it, I'll do it myself.
I think for me, it matters how you respond, right? Like if I can see that, you know, your face is pained and have you ever asked someone a favor and it looks like you are asking them for their left lung?
Bongani, if you ask me to go grab you some coffee now and I'm just like, yeah, okay. And you feel like I wasn't enthusiastic enough to say, hey,
want to.
Yeah, sure.
It's okay. I'll ask
Oh, wow. No, man.
Thing is, I know you and you know someone over time.
Yes.
If I'm asking you for the first time and we barely know each other, I might not notice. But if I know you to be, I know how Amo would typically respond. And if on that day, is there something wrong? Or do you think I'm quick to lose my patience?
I think
Have I just answered your question?
Amo?
Yeah, I think, you know, I do that. If I ask someone to do something and it takes long, I just get up and do it myself.
Thank you. Guys, we all put on our pants one leg at a time. All of us. Why must I nanga you and beg you?
And just to be clear, you guys are talking about a few seconds here. Eh? So the reaction time is also quite important. They must jump up
it's
immediately.
sometimes it's not even a few seconds. You ask someone to do something.
And months later.
Or a week later, it's still not done.
So I'll do it myself.
Thank you very much.
Quite tough, you two, huh?
702.
Weather.
What conditions can you expect on this Friday? A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. Temperatures will peak at 27 degrees in Johannesburg, 29 in Pretoria, 28 in Vereniging. If you're traveling, Bloemfontein 31, Bombela 29, Gqeberha in East London 24. That's the same for Durban and Cape Town.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Amo?
Well, Bongani, we've got delays on the Mark 1 North between Xavier Street and Carr Street. Peak time delays as well as an accident reported between these 2 points. Then there's also roadworks taking place on the N3 North heading towards Bedford View. So do expect delays as you come out of the Airlines interchange. If you want to try and avoid this backlog, you can still use the N17 West into the Heidelberg Road and then make your way towards the Joburg CBD. I'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
February may be the month of love, but your boss won't be feeling that love if you're late for work. Fortunately, the Outsurance pointsmen are there to ease traffic congestion to make sure you get to the office on time. They've been doing it for 20 years to make sure we all get to where we need to be quickly and safely. With Outsurance, you always get something out. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Start your day with Bongani Bingwa.
On 702. Let's walk the talk.
Our shout out this morning, very simply. Do you have something in your home that you have kept because you're hoping one day it will be of some value? Or is there something you regret letting go of, Amo, because you now realize it would have been of great value at some point?
I do regret letting go of my Harry Potter's first 3 books, the collection.
Oh, first edition.
Yeah. The number 1, 2, and 3. I regret giving those away. I don't know to whom I gave them. And
why?
Now I do feel like they would have been of value, especially to my son who loves reading so much and who also just likes Harry Potter as well. I don't know.
Why'd you give them away?
I have no idea. I can't even remember the day I gave them away. I only realized when I was looking through my books.
So maybe I should come to your house and look for things, eh?
No,
you give away.
No. Please don't. Please don't.
Butel?
There's a lot of things I thought would now be far more valuable. I mean, I thought record players and LPs and things like that would make a comeback and be very, very expensive, but that hasn't happened yet. But I'm still keeping them. I think we've got 2 record players at home and a jazz collection that spans years.
My CD collection, guys.
And I thought, there's a time someone will say, look, I need these for millions.
We'll tell you why we're asking coming up.
702.
More than a radio station.
Let's walk the talk.
What you need to know, of course, is Bill Gates, the billionaire, has apologized to his staff, telling his employees at a town hall that he apologizes for his association with Jeffrey Epstein, saying he did nothing illicit. He never stayed overnight at Epstein's, but he's acknowledged meeting the financier several times. The Gates Foundation says there was no money that was ever paid to Epstein. And you just look at the story and the big names it seems to be nabbing every single day. The Office of the Chief Justice says Chief Justice Mandisa Maya will not be attending an upcoming awards event organized by the African Leadership magazine, despite media reports suggesting otherwise. So she was nominated for some awards. She formally declined both the award and the invitation, but it didn't stop this publication from using her image and the fact that she was nominated for an award. And she has made sure that there's got to be daylight between herself and this organization. The island of Jersey, this is in the UK, has approved legislation now allowing terminally ill adults to choose assisted dying. And essentially, those who are eligible are adults expected to die within 6 or 12 months from neurodegenerative conditions such as Parkinson's or motor neuron disease. So are you a rare collector kind of person? Well, listen to this. A first edition shadowless Pokemon card considered the holy grail of the original 1999 base set is expected to fetch around 800,000 Rand today at Hanson's Auctioneers in Derbyshire. Back in 1999, of course, you could buy a pack of 11 cards at Woolies for just under 40 Rand. Today, finding this particular one, I think it's called a Charizard or a Charizard. If you find one of those, well, it would be like hitting the lottery. And that's why we're asking if you've kept anything of value that you hoped would become enormously valuable to you in the future. It's the birthday of Joaquin Phoenix, born on this day in 1974. Joaquin Phoenix, of course, is known for disappearing into complex roles. He played Commodus in Gladiator, Johnny Cash in Walk the Line, and then his Oscar-winning turn in The Joker. And we had a huge debate with the producers as to which or who was the best Joker. Baphelile insists it was Joaquin Phoenix, and I said, do not speak ill of the dead. Heath Ledger has to be the ultimate Joker. Thank you very much, Muteo. Baphelile, somebody came to work today.
I'm with Baphelile on this one.
No, I'm with Bongani and Muteo. Heath Ledger.
Who was the best Joker?
Heath Ledger.
Joaquin.
Do not speak ill of the dead, Baphelile.
702.
The newspapers.
Let's look at the newspapers. What have you got, Sfiso Zulu?
A quick one, Bongani. An inquest into the death of Nigerian novelist Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's 21-month-old son will formally start in April. So they were in court yesterday for preliminary hearings in Lagos. And this is roughly 7 weeks after Nkanu Mnandi Egese died at Eurocare Hospital. He had been sent to the hospital and admitted for a mild illness, and there were complications, and then he later died. And so his parents then took legal action against the hospital. So the preliminary hearings have been ongoing. And in the legal notice 3 days later, the lawyers for Adichie and her husband accused the hospital of breaching the duty of care owed to the child, but the hospital has denied any wrongdoing.
All right, we didn't have the rest of the papers delivered this morning. I think there was some kind of issue, so we'll go straight to business news.
EWN Business.
Thank you very much. Mateo wants to know, how patient are you when you've asked somebody for a favor? Are you one of those who will just do it yourself anyway if you feel you don't have the right response, whether in attitude or speed of execution? What prompts the question, Mateo?
Bongani, National Treasury is coming down hard on poor service delivery in municipalities. It's pushing 15 municipalities to appoint Eskom to distribute power on their behalf. As part of Eskom's distribution agency agreements, the power utility would manage the electricity, the billing and collections, while payments made by consumers would go directly to Eskom's bank account instead of the municipalities. According to MoneyWeb, National Treasury Director General Duncan Peterse says Treasury had written letters to 15 councils following their non-compliance with the Treasury's debt relief program. Now, in terms of the program, municipalities could qualify for the write-off of their historical debt to Eskom over a period of 3 years if they complied with certain conditions. Now, this includes paying their current Eskom account every month. Now, about 71 participating municipalities collectively owed Eskom 85 billion rand by December of 2025, but only 15 complied consistently with the program's conditions. Now, Peters said if the municipalities fail to complete a deal with Eskom, they'll immediately be liable for the full debt. Last year, Eskom flagged one municipality in particular where payment rates were as low as 6%. The slow-paying municipality was Mwate, local municipality in the Free State, which covers several towns with a population of 135,000 people. The municipality forms part of Fezile Dabi District Municipality and is home to towns like Parys, Tumahole, Heilbron, Koppies and Vredefort. In September of 2025, that municipality owing Eskom 2.7 billion rand. So Treasury said it's had enough. Give the power to Eskom, give the runnings, the administration to Eskom, let people pay for power directly so it's often available to them.
We'll do it ourselves, essentially, is
do
the
it
message.
ourselves.
Where's the rand? Doing it for itself?
Yes, it is. 15 Rand 91 against the dollar, at 18 Rand 78 against the euro, and at 21 Rand 46 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $5,186 an ounce, while platinum is at $2,378. Brent crude at $70.82 a barrel. More business after 7.
Time now for your latest eyewitness news. Up next, of course, the political desk looking at the week that was, but also specifically, are the ward council systems failing Johannesburg? Sfisa Zulu, back to you at the news desk.
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. Scholar transport drivers in Pretoria have criticized government for issuing out permits to drivers without inspecting their cars for roadworthiness. Yesterday, several associations attended a road safety and compliance workshop hosted by the Gauteng Traffic Department. During the session in Pretoria, a Pretoria West Learner Transport Associate chairperson, Tato Sinona, raised that the Transport Department places the burden of ensuring that vehicles are inspected by owners instead of department officials. The complaint stems from continued operations leading to scholar transports being impounded for not being roadworthy. Sinona says this is unfair.
Yeah. When the permits are released, they don't request to see the car physically. So how are they going to guarantee that car they are issuing out the permit for is roadworthy?
Gauteng traffic spokesperson Seloma Remane says the drivers should almost every 6 months go to the department to conduct these checks, preferably during school holidays.
We are saying to them during that period, December time, they can come to us so we can test this vehicle. They don't have to wait for that 6 months period to assess roadworthiness thereof.
Public Works Minister Dean McPherson has ordered disciplinary action against an official arrested in connection with a 113 million rand schools tender corruption case in Mpumalanga. The construction project manager appeared in court earlier this week as part of a group of more than 30 people charged with fraud related to the emergency fixing of 21 schools in the province. McPherson says although his department had nothing to do with the tender, action will still be taken against the official following his arrest. The minister says he's committed to a zero-tolerance approach to corruption and unethical misconduct within his department.
Upon becoming aware of the official's arrest and court appearance, I directed the Director General to implement the precautionary suspension of the official and to initiate appropriate disciplinary action. Any official implicated in serious criminal allegations, particularly those involving public funds meant for critical infrastructure such as schools, ought not to remain in their role while these processes are underway.
The Motor Industry Staff Association is calling for stronger regulation and mandatory safety testing of sanitary pads and panty liners sold nationwide. The National Consumer Commission is investigating 9 sanitary pad and panty liner suppliers after a Free State University study found hormone-disrupting chemicals in several popular brands. The association spokesperson, Pagamile Hlubi-Majola, says manufacturers and retailers must be held accountable.
These chemicals have been associated internationally with endocrine disruption, reproductive health complications, increased cancer risk, and skin irritation. The presence of such substances in products designed for intimate long-term contact raises profound concerns about consumer safety and regulatory oversight.
And Pakistan has bombed major cities in Afghanistan, including the capital Kabul, with Islamabad's defense minister declaring the neighbors at open war following months of tit-for-tat clashes. Journalists in Kabul and Kandahar heard blasts and jets overhead as Pakistan launched airstrikes on the Afghan capital and southern power base of the Taliban authorities. Pakistan's latest operation came after Afghan forces attacked Pakistani border troops last night over earlier strikes by Islamabad. Relations between the neighbors have plunged in recent months, with land border crossings largely shut since deadly fighting in October that killed more than 70 people on both sides. Islamabad accuses Afghanistan of failing to act against militant groups that carry out attacks in Pakistan, which the Taliban government denies. Several rounds of negotiations followed an initial ceasefire brokered by Qatar and Turkey, but the efforts have failed to produce a lasting agreement. A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng, with showers expected today. The temperatures are at lows of 16 and 18 degrees, peaking at highs between 27 and 29.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the Mark North between Xavier Street and Carr Street. This is due to peak time delays as well as an accident along this route. Do expect about a 20-minute hold up there. And then heading towards Bedford View, more traffic volumes along the N3 North. This is between Fort Trekker Road and the N12 exit towards the Geldenhuys interchange.
The top story this hour: Scholar transport drivers have criticized government for issuing out permits to drivers without inspecting their vehicles.
Part of the 702 family.
Hello, my name is Atta Sibeta, and I'm from 702 Land, staying in Centurion. And what 702 actually brings for me is what other radio stations don't give me. A lot of knowledge, great information, and a lot of happy moments. Thank you very much. Enjoy listening to 702 Land.
Welcome to our 702 family. Let's walk the talk. In business, sustainability should share dividends with more than just shareholders. Let's make ROI include a return on integrity.
Get financial solutions for environmental and social impact. With R&B, sustainability yields more than good intentions. T's and C's apply. R&B, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider.
Hi, this is Carol Shabalala, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. It's more fun when it's for fun. Playing responsibly is always a winning strategy. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counseling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
From your pet's bowl
Chipolito, bro.
or Barcelona, maybe Bordeaux,
How about Brazil?
or Butts, Betty's, Baviance, Bella Bella, or even Benoni. Buy any Hills pet food and you could win one of 10 holidays worth 200,000 Rand each. Or take the bucks. Scientifically proven formulas for your pet. An adventure for you. Hills Pet Nutrition. Science does more. T's and C's apply.
John Perlman. Weekday afternoons,
3 to 6.
One of the concerns, though, would be if we get a gold and platinum boom as we're having now, SARS revenues will go up. Are there numbers, though, that tell you that SARS is working more efficiently around the areas of compliance that you highlighted?
There's no substitute like growth.
Yes.
Even if they're more efficient and all of a sudden our growth falls off the ground, we're going to be hurt. So they can only do so much. But to be fair to the Revenue Service, if you look back in the Manani days, you really seen a major turnaround effort on the part of SARS.
John Perlman.
3 to 6 on 702.
702 Afternoon Drive with John Perlman is proudly brought to you by Telkom Business. Possible begins here.
Coming up in the next hour, what's the question? And it's brought to you by Outsurance. Up to 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. All you need to do is send us an answer based on anything that piqued your interest during the show, and you'll win $1,000. Simply WhatsApp us your name and the answer to 072 702 1702. Then later, someone else will ask a question to win 2,000 Rand. Now, you always stand a better chance of being selected if you have SMS'd out to Outsurance and got yourself a quote. So do it now. SMS out to 45142. You could save on your car insurance.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Bongani, you biscuit. Tell you what, the one thing I regret getting rid of is my E46 BMW 330i. It had one of those funny colors where it's purple, gold, blue, depending on how you're looking at it. I sold it years ago, and to this day, I'm like, why did I sell that thing? Anytime and every time I see the individual, I just want to ask the owner to sell it to me. And I don't think people are selling those cars anymore because they're just collector's items right now. Pastor P.
Morning, Bungles. We're busy packing up my parents' house. Last December, it was exactly 31 years ago that she and her sister had to pack up her parents' house. And the story goes that she unpacked a kist that came from Holland and she just repacked it. And guess what? 31 years later, that same kist is in her house and it's never been unpacked. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do with it, but yes, quite a legacy.
Good morning, Bongani. The Pokemon is Charizard. So you couldn't. I remember it was very difficult to get a Charizard. It was so hard, even on the Simba packets. If somebody had that, they were very popular in school. Hector in Midrand.
Oh, well, that's why it's about to fetch 800,000 Rand or thereabouts. And it's one of those that had you kept it, if you got it, as you said, it was hard to come by even then, but had you kept it, it would be worth a lot of money. So I'm asking you that question. Is there something that you have kept because you just knew it would be valuable one day, or you regret letting go of because, why did I sell my car? Why did I give it up?
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta is looking at me with a look of regret.
It's a dangerous game.
What did you give away?
It's what my mother hasn't given away.
Yeah.
So every single thing in that house that they have bought since they built it in 1973 is still there. Because she keeps going, you're going to see. One day, this is going to be worth a lot. And I put it into a Google reverse like search. Like I'll take a picture of something and I'll be like, let's just see. And there it is on Facebook Marketplace for like 30 Rand. And I don't have the heart to tell her, but there's a lot of stuff in that house that is not worth anything, that you've been holding on to forever and that your children are going to have to clear out one day. And I know she listens to the show at exactly this time.
I was about to say, I suspect you've just told her.
And I've told her that I will one day just get a skip-in outside her house and I will allow everybody off the street to come pick and choose what they want. And all these ornaments are not worth anything. And I think that's also another conversation. It's just, yes, you found stuff that actually you wish you hadn't given away. I mean, I came across my brother's island style. Do you remember island style backpacks? They were luminous and they had a picture of the hand in the middle. And it was like, people will remember island style. The very luminous suitcases in the 80s. We've if you would like one, DM me. I have my brother's luminous green and luminous yellow and orange one. We found it.
I'll tell you what's of great value is just the whole squad of the Proteas men's side, right?
Okay, yeah. The only side unbeaten at the T20 Cricket World Cup so far. After a 9-wicket thrashing of the West Indies yesterday, captain Aidan Markham with an unbeaten 82 that included 4 sixes and 7 fours that blasted the team to the win with 4 overs to spare.
We've been on good and bad sides at World Cups, and it's definitely not something this group would take for granted. I don't think it's even worth mentioning to the group. The guys have a lot of pride and are really on a mission to try achieve something, and you sort of don't want to create things where there aren't really anything. So if we need to guard against it based on what our eyes tell us, we will mention it, but for the time being, the guys have been tracking really well.
Also a big win for India, a 72-run victory over Zimbabwe. Later today, a win for New Zealand over England books them a place in the semi-final. In golf at the Investec SA Open in Stellenbosch, South African Dean Burmester and 3 others lead after the first round on 5 under, 1 ahead of the field. Here's Burmester.
I mean, what a vibe, eh? What a venue. I mean, they've done an amazing job. Everybody involved. Incredible shape. I mean, I got lucky today in some patches, but, there's other patches that you don't get so lucky in. That's, testament to a good golf course. I think you can look at the scoring. It's pretty fair, and it's going to show its teeth the rest of the weekend for sure.
Loads to play for in tomorrow's Soweto derby. Pirates need to win to go back top of the table, while Chiefs need to win to move up to third. They would then be within 5 points of the leaders. Pirates are expected to have both Evidence Magopa and Talente Mbata back from injury. Here's captain Kosinati Sibisi.
For us, we always go to each and every game positive of us getting a result. We coming from a defeat. We all know we should have done better in those 2 games, but there's still another chance for us in the weekend to try and rectify it.
Premier League continues tonight. Wolves host Aston Villa tomorrow. City away at Leeds. On Sunday, Arsenal host Chelsea after United have played Palace. And a big blow for the Sharks. They don't have Apalele Fasi for Saturday's United Rugby Championship game with the Bulls. He has a shoulder injury. Sharks also without Ethan Hooker, Grant Williams and Sia Khaleesi, while Eben Etzebeth is still serving his suspension. Bonambi's still injured, but Andre Esterhuizen is back to lead the team. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
In 2021, South African Airways' new journey started, and the journey has brought us here. Over 15 aircraft added to our fleet, thousands of new flights scheduled every year, and 19 routes on our map to connect you to more of the world. We're proud of how far we've come, but we're not finished yet. We're still raising our standards in the air and on the ground. South African Airways. Book your next flight at flysaa.com today.
Aren't you tired of hearing how tough every Bakkie is? Tough this, tougher that, and being tougherer. But what about a Bakkie that's actually evolved? Confidence when you need it. Modern comfort because you deserve it. And next-gen tech that's, just smarter. Introducing the Changan Hunter range from only 5,299 Rand per month. Test drive SA's better balanced Bakkie today. T's and C's apply.
Changan, driven to evolve.
Mzansi, Walala Wasala. Play Powerball and Powerball Plus for a massive 91 million Rand in total estimated jackpots this Friday. And step closer to a world of many possibilities. Play Powerball for an estimated 61 million Rand. And Powerball Plus for an estimated 30 million Rand today. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app or cell phone banking. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. E2 is a proud operator of the National Lottery.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
When you look at your day and what you're going to be spending your working day doing, your productive day, how much time of that are you losing to traffic? What it costs you?
If you start factoring in things like freight logistics sector, some estimates lean up to 300 billion Rand a year in lost value. So that's delays in your food, that's delays in supplies, that's shift in supply chains.
Mofensa Madisha is an independent transport economist.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Curtis is brought to you by ABSA Corporate and Investment Banking, a proud sponsor of the LMA ICMA Loan and Capital Markets Africa Summit 2026. Advancing Africa's capital markets to drive sustainable growth across the continent. ABSA is a registered FSP. T's and C's apply.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Good morning. My name is Riachile. I'm 13 years old. I go to Rhodesville Technical High. When I grow up, I want to be a pilot, and I'm very excited to play the Whiz Quiz with Uncle Bongani this morning. Thank you.
Will you fly away with the 10,000 Rand?
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is with South African Airways. Together with airplane partners, they can take you further than ever before. Book at flysaa.com now. The delays on the M1 North. Amo?
That's correct, Bongani. This is due to an accident reported right after Boyson's Road. Delays coming out of Xavier Street all the way towards Car Street exit. This is also because of the peak time delays at this time of the morning. While traveling on the M2 West, we've also got delays. This is between Heidelberg Road and the Crown Turn-Off. If you're heading towards Bedford View, we still have got massive traffic volumes. This is between the Elands Interchange and Van Buren Road. Please be on the lookout there and keep driving with care. More updates coming up.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. In 2021, South African Airways' new journey started. And the journey has brought us here. Over 15 aircraft added to our fleet, thousands of new flights scheduled every year, and 19 routes on our map to connect you to more of the world. We're proud of how far we've come, but we're not finished yet. We're still raising our standards in the air and on the ground. South African Airways. Book your next flight at flysaa.com today.
Think fast. Fast downloads, fast streaming, fast wins. Because whether you're chasing high scores, deadlines, or the next episode, buffering is not part of the plan. That's why your home needs the power of OpenServe Fiber. Fast, reliable Wi-Fi that keeps up with your life. So when you sign up before the end of March, you'll score a free Netflix voucher. Level up your home connection with OpenServe Fiber and feel the difference speed makes. Visit openserve.co.za. T's and C's apply.
New deals for the Checkers extravaganza are here. Save extra on top picks like Clover Crush 100% fruit juice blend 1.5 litre, any two for 75 Rand. Nescafe Gold instant coffee 200 or 220 grams for 149.99, and Finish dishwashing tablets 45.50 or 56 per pack for 229.99 each. Valid until 1 March, only at Checkers, Checkers Hyper, or shop on 6060.
Naked people are great dancers. Because naked people spend less time on insurance admin, they have more time to perfect their moves. Go to naked.insure now, get a car insurance quote in 90 seconds, and get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP.
When the Mahindra Fusion Fest 2026, powered by 702, brings you Z, Focalistic, Dali Wonga, Zoe Mudija, and more. Fashion, art, and music will take center stage. And so can you by playing the daily Mahindra Fusion Fest quiz on 702 for up to 10,000 Rand and 2 tickets to the fest. WhatsApp the keyword Mahindra to 072-702-1702 with your name and ID number. Every day this week from 1 p.m., 702 afternoons with Rebukile Mabucha could call you back. The Mahindra Fusion Fest 2026, powered by 702. TCs and more on primemediaplus.com.
Who is the wizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Up next, the political desk. We've got veteran journalist Ferrell Haffajee joining us this morning to look at the week that was. But let's give away some cash. The Whiz Quiz, of course, is played by 10 to 13-year-olds, and our contestant today is Reagile, who is 13 and wants to be a pilot one day. Reagile, how high can you fly?
To the highest points on earth.
To the highest point on earth. Let's find out. KG, start the clock. Spell the word country.
COUNTRY.
Correct. What is 85 minus 40?
41.
45. True or false? South Africa has 3 national capitals.
True.
Correct. In T20 cricket, a bowler may bowl a maximum of how many overs?
3.
4. Which city is further from Durban, Bloemfontein or Gqeberha?
Gqeberha.
Correct. Which word refers to horses? Is it bovine or equine?
Equine.
Correct. On which continent is the country Eritrea? Africa or Asia?
Africa.
Correct. True or false? 4 continents have names that begin with and end with the letter A.
True.
Correct. Complete the saying, a stitch in time saves what?
Pass.
9. What term is used for a group of stars? A constellation is the answer we were looking for there. Riachile, you walk away with 6 correct answers, 600 Rand. That's how high you get to fly.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz.
On 702.
702.
The Political Desk.
All right, we were due to speak to Anna Cox, Daily Maverick journalist, about Joburg's ward system. We're not able to get through to her this morning, so her colleague, veteran journalist and associate editor at Daily Maverick, Ferial Haffiji, joins us to look back then on the week that was politically. Ferial, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Let's start with matters Joburg. The election of an executive deputy mayor yesterday. Critics will say this is really about ANC politics and not at all about the residents of the city. What's your view?
Good morning, B. So most decidedly, it's an expensive post, and it's meant to deal with the coalition politics that have so bedeviled our city for the past 5 years. And more so, it's about the factional wars in the ANC, because obviously Ms. Louisa Masuku, who is now the Deputy Executive Mayor, is the regional boss of the ANC, and she wanted a top seat.
So how does that play out to voters who are so beleaguered by many problems and service delivery issues in a city like ours in an election year?
I guess that just from what I've heard, because we run a Joburg newsletter now, people are interested in what's going to happen to the city, but more about the November election than the internal machinations. Because I think we've had about, I think it's on 6 mayors, Dada Morero twice in there. So people don't trust that system of political representation as it's working at the moment does anything about our water, our electricity, the state of our roads, etc. That's just a feeling I get.
You would have seen Anna Cox's piece around ward councillors and whether those committees actually work for residents or not. The city insists they do work, but we all know they've become politicized, and most people don't know who their ward councillor is. They don't know where the committee meets. They don't know how to access them.
So I guess it's that's true. I must say, though, caveat, in some areas they work well. So where my mom used to live in Ward 58, it's because it's in such a severe state of collapse. If it wasn't for those ward committee members who've established good relationships with City Power, with Joburg Water, then I think the ward would be in a far worse situation. So where they work, they show us exactly how the system of political representation, which creates like a micro council in your ward. It's a good system. If it could be made to work, that's the way that citizens get represented. Elsewhere, I know they don't have meetings, they don't feed back to their residents very well at all, and maybe they don't get paid enough because each ward committee member gets 1,000 Rand a month. Maybe it should be a voluntary position, or you can pay it more rather than create positions like a new deputy executive mayor, which is going to be pretty expensive.
To national politics we go. The walkout of Paul O'Sullivan at that ad hoc committee meeting. I mean, was it political posturing by the politicians who are obviously playing to the gallery, or did he have some real questions to answer that he dodged?
You know, as somebody who's been sitting watching very closely the Mandlanga Commission of Inquiry, I feel like that's the place where we are really beginning to understand deeply and forensically how come we're not safer. So what the criminalization of criminal justice system, that's where I'm getting the answers. At ad hoc, I feel like it's become political posturing, and also that I don't know if Mr. Paul O'Sullivan, I try to follow very carefully the things he said in his first appearance, but there does seem to be a dysfunctional relationship with him and the MPs, although I don't think you should walk out on a parliamentary committee.
He is arguing that he was there voluntarily. He hadn't been subpoenaed. He's even suggesting that there was some pre-arrangement as to when he would leave, and he simply did so.
I don't know the story
details,
behind that, but that's been a difficult appearance from the get-go.
But I suppose what my question is walking out of a parliamentary process like that the same, for example, as what Jacob Zuma did at the Zondo Commission?
In my opinion, yes, because and I sat and watched the president do that at the Zondo Commission. It's simply gobsmacking. You're not allowed to. That's the price of our citizenship. We have to appear when called before these things.
All right. What happens next? I suppose we're going to find out from the chairperson of the ad hoc committee, who joins us after this Eyewitness News. Farrell Haffajee, appreciate your time, Associate Editor at Daily Maverick. This Eyewitness News now, of course, brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask Outsurance for 500 Rand.
This is EWN.
The country's Navy boss could be in hot water for Iran's drills in Cape Town, and Ket Matlala's legal woes are far from over. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Retired Judge Bernard Ngwepe will lead a 4-member investigative panel to determine whether the head of the South African Navy, Monde Lubise, ignored a direct order from the president. The order barred Iran's participation in the Will of Peace naval drills that took place at False Bay in Cape Town earlier this year. Despite the instruction, Iranian forces continued to participate, sparking a formal investigation and potential disciplinary action within defense. The exercise, which included BRICS-aligned nations China, Russia, prompted sharp criticism from the United States. The probe has been moved from the Department of Defense and Military Veterans to the presidency in order to safeguard its independence and ensure it's concluded in a month. Demakatso Leshuro has the story.
At the heart of the investigation are serious allegations that despite President Ramaphosa's clear order to keep Iran out of the Chinese-led naval drill, it was ignored by the head of the Navy, Vice Admiral Monde Lubise. The exercise held off Cape Town and involving BRICS-aligned nations sparked international concerns. The U.S. said allowing Iran to participate threatened maritime security and regional stability. The fallout came amid a deadly crackdown on protesters in Iran that left thousands of people dead. Presidential spokesperson Vincent Magwenya confirmed that the panel can summon anyone in the defense force or public service and request documents, including classified documents. Their job to uncover why the president's order was not followed, who is responsible, and what consequences should follow. Timakazo Leshoro, Eyewitness News.
Alleged criminal kingpin Vusmuzi Ket Matlala's hopes have been dashed after his case suffered yet another setback. Matlala yesterday appeared in the Johannesburg High Court for pre-trial alongside his wife and 3 other co-accused. They faced 25 charges, including 11 counts of attempted murder linked to 3 separate shootings allegedly committed between 2022 and 2024. Oren Singh reports.
While eager to plead his innocence and clear his name, it could be several weeks and even months before the criminal trial commences against alleged crime boss Vusumuzi Ket Matlala and his co-accused. Matlala, his wife and 3 others appeared in the Johannesburg High Court yesterday, facing 25 charges, including 11 counts of attempted murder. Matlala's advocate, Annelien van den Heever, accused the state of delaying the matter by not providing certain particulars.
There's videos that we've not been provided, etc. So these are not documents I respectfully submit the state can deny disclosing to the defense.
Senior State Prosecutor, Advocate Elise Leroux, disputed van der Heever's assertions.
The thing is, I have not had the opportunity to view the request for further disclosure.
The matter was postponed to 18th March. Aaron Singh, Eyewitness News.
The ANC in Johannesburg has dismissed claims that the position of deputy mayor was created to compensate for Dada Morero's service delivery failures. The party's newly elected regional leader, Loyiso Masuku, was yesterday elected deputy mayor, a first for the city. This means the ANC holds both the mayoral and deputy mayoral positions in the metro, along with the majority of seats in the mayoral committee. The mayor is expected to soon outline the deputy mayor's roles and responsibilities. Alfara Mushwana has more.
In December, Loyiso Masuku made history after being elected as the first female leader of the ANC in Johannesburg. Following her election, some within the ANC called for her predecessor, Dada Morero, to be removed as mayor to make way for Masuku to assume the position. However, the party's regional executive committee resolved that Morero should remain mayor, which led to the creation of the deputy mayor position. Despite this, ANC regional secretary Sasabona Manganye says Masugu's election as the city's first deputy mayor was not intended to appease any factions within the party.
It's a well-deserving position given, her experience, in local government. She's a seasoned councillor who have played a role in different positions.
Morero is expected to soon outline the rules and responsibilities of his deputy. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
And the South African government still wants to know how a group of men were allegedly tricked into fighting in Russia's war with Ukraine. It was confirmed yesterday that 2 of them died. Their deaths follow the return of 11 others who landed at Durban's King Shaka International Airport earlier this week. People including former President Jacob Zuma's daughter Duduzile have been accused of orchestrating the scheme that landed them on the front line last year. A total of 17 South Africans have been brought home this month. International Relations Department spokesperson Crispin Peary.
The government continues to investigate the networks involved in these recruitment efforts to ensure that those who exploit vulnerable citizens face the full might of the law.
Gold is trading at $5,185.76 an ounce. The rand is at 15.90 to the dollar, 21.47 to the pound, 18.79 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $70.78 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident in 4 ways. It's along Winnie Mandela Drive. It happened near Leslie. It is causing delays coming out of Witkoppen Road. There's also queuing traffic reported on the N12 as well as the R24 West. This is between the Edenville Road exit and the Kilulis interchange.
And in your sport, more than decades of bragging rights on the line in tomorrow's Soweto derby between Chiefs and Pirates. The Proteas are through to the T20 Cricket World Cup semi-finals after a 9-wicket win over the West Indies, and India beat Zimbabwe. Second round of the Investec SA Open underway in Stellenbosch. Burmester in a group with a one-shot overnight lead. And another 2 derbies in the URC tomorrow, including the Lions hosting the Stormers at Ellis Park.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng with scattered showers and thunder showers expected for later. Johannesburg is at a low of 16 degrees, peaking at 27. Pretoria 18 and 29. Vereniging 16 and 28. The top story in EWN this hour. Retired Judge Bernard Mwepe will lead a 4-member investigative panel to determine whether the head of the South African Navy, Monde Lubise, ignored a direct order from the president.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app. Tired of paying more than you need to for your car insurance? Jason, a 45-year-old OutSurance client, is saving big on his 2025 Hyundai i10.
That's true. OutSurance, they saved me an incredible 520 rand.
And if you're claim-free for 3 years, you get an out bonus.
More and more and more out.
How much could OutSurance save you on your car insurance? SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142.
Saving so much every month, around 640 rand.
That's right. 27-year-old Liam saves an unbelievable 640 rand a month on his 2020 Ford Ranger. Enjoy benefits like panic assistance, which sends the nearest medical or armed response unit to you wherever you are. Get a quote now and see how much OutSurance could save you. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Licensed insurer in FSP. TCs and information online. Limits apply.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
8 minutes after 7 o'clock. Here's a question. Does everything need an inquiry? Does everything need an inquiry? So now, retired Judge Bernard Mwepe will lead this 4-member panel to determine whether or not Monde Lubise ignored a direct order from the president. This is around that naval drill that took place earlier this year outside Cape Town, and the Iranians participated when they were supposed to, at the late stage, become only observers. I mean, we call the president. This is why it annoys me that Julius Malema is referred to as CIC. And I understand in the context of his party and their nomenclature that yes, he is the chief of the fighters. I get that. I get what they mean. But it's annoying because there's only one commander-in-chief, and that's the president of the republic. And what that means is he is the top person, not only in terms of how the state functions, but particularly how the military functions. He is the final word. He is the commander-in-chief. So specifically for the army or for the military, there is a chain of command. When the chief says, do such, it ought to be followed. And it certainly ought to be able to be easy to determine whether it was or not, and who in that chain of command didn't follow the instruction. Do we need a four-person? Do we need a judge to tell us? Do we?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Tensions flaring up in Parliament yesterday. Paul O'Sullivan, of course, as we know, walked out of those proceedings. But the other person who was also under pressure was the former acting police commissioner, Khomotso Phahlane, who at some point had to apologize for this moment.
I think I've been very patient. I can't continue to be attacked by the senior counsel in the manner that he's doing. I don't know who is he representing.
I'm not representing anybody. I am putting...
You are representing Robert McBride and you are representing the cabal that you are party to.
He made that statement yesterday, and then, of course, at some point he had to apologize, particularly for targeting the evidence leader there, as you've heard, calling him a representative of Robert McBride and being part of a cabal. It really got tense. But I suppose the biggest moment was the walkout of Paul O'Sullivan. Julius Malema, the leader of the EFF, framed it as a white supremacist move. And he also took issue with his fellow members of parliament for not reacting soon enough or on time when O'Sullivan walked out of the House yesterday. I want you to listen to what Julius Malema had to say and tell me if you agree.
Whiteness, white supremacy, the arrogance of white privilege displayed itself here today. And typical of us, with victimhood mentality and the trauma we suffered as black people, we all found ourselves wanting because a white man was acting. And the first instinct was to be scared of a white man. And we reacted when the white man was long gone, because that's how we were framed. That was a white supremacy in action. And it took us aback, including you, Chair. You were looking at it like, what's happening now? And you couldn't react.
I was watching him when he was walking towards you.
Yeah, I said to him, sit down, man. And then he said, no, I'm leaving. And I didn't know what to do. And then I realized later when he's left, this guy was supposed to be stopped. Because the first instinct is to say it's a white man, I must not touch a white man. And then I realized later, no man, politically I'm wrong, I should have stood up to that man. But that's how we're framed, Che. You ought to deal with that thing because it continues the trauma of black people. He undermined us openly, and we must act, and we must act with agents, not the way we're being advised.
But how was he going to be stopped? Physically, manhandled?
Sergeant at Arms. Do you remember those moments? And would that not have been ironic? Because it used to be the EFF that used to get the Sergeant at Arms called against them. And of course, it happened in a particular context. I've already played this clip, but I think it bears repeating. Because one of the questions we must ask, was this about political posturing from these political parties? And that has nothing to do with whether you like Paul O'Sullivan or not. But were they playing to the gallery? You've seen the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, how those commissioners are all about events, dates, decisions, actions taken, not taken. They're about the evidence. The ad hoc committee has been largely about a bit of theatre. The cameras are on, the voters are watching. And so is it about really getting to the nub of the alleged criminality in our law enforcement? I'm not for a second suggesting Paul O'Sullivan is the loveliest man I ever met. But what would you do if this was the line of questioning you were receiving?
Because you know why? No, you can't tell me why. You let me finish answering. So why you think? Why. So you will tell me to dictate to me. You see, Chairman, this is the problem I'm having. I've got a very antagonistic person here who wants to. I'm a member of Parliament. I'm not a person. You can say a member of Parliament here. Very antagonistic member of Parliament here who is trying to talk me down, belittle. No, we are attacked. Anyway, we are attacked. And be as arrogant as he accuses me of being. Yeah, but we are attacked. The reality is, my investments in Centelina have got absolutely nothing to do with the reason we are here. Because we are a spy. You are hiding things because we are a spy. And you will never accept here, like any other spy, besides the other witness we had yesterday. Paul, is it your UK AM number 243028818? I don't know what he's talking about. No. I'm asking you. You must say no if it's not true. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about your army number in the UK. Chairman, I'm being told now that I'm a spy. No, you're a spy, yes. Sorry, Chairman. I'm not going to put up with this rubbish. I am having this being repeatedly told by this member that I'm a spy.
You're a spy. You're a thug. At one point, they were asking, "Are you a wife abuser?" Because your wife once put a case against you.
Where is the chair? I'm like, there's a voice that's missing. I want to hear someone saying, "No, let's calm down, everybody. Let's start all over." Do you know what I mean?
Where is the chair? Indeed, we're scheduled to speak to Soviet Likhanyane, the chair of that ad hoc committee. We're desperately trying to call him. He's not picking up his phone. Where is the chair? Indeed, Amo.
702. Up next,
the big interview.
Then there was this extraordinary story from a Capitec branch in KwaZulu-Natal, I think KwaDukuza. A family lost a loved one, a grandmother, who died, and they had a funeral policy with the bank. Obviously, for the bank to pay out, they need to verify this person has died. They brought the body to the branch. They said, "You want proof?" "Yeah, here's the proof." And the branch insists all they wanted was a death certificate.
As it should be.
And the family says, "What proof do you want? We told you. If you want proof, here's the proof." Now the family are asking Capitec to pay for rituals they feel they need to perform because they feel that their deceased loved one was not handled in quite the correct way. And as far as I understand, by the way, once the death certificate was produced, the bank paid within 24 hours. Do you ever feel like people just deliberately want to misunderstand each other? Gosh, on this day in history, 1993, it was the 14th week and a record at the time that Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You" was at the top of the Billboard Hot 100. It was, of course, the lead song from still the best-selling soundtrack of all time from the movie The Bodyguard.
EWN Traffic.
Let's catch up with traffic news now. Amo, there's a crash on the N12 in Bedford View. What's going on?
That's correct, Bongani. It's right near the Kiluli's interchange. It's causing about a 20-minute hold-up as you come out of Edenville Road. Please be on the lookout there. The R24 West is also backed up as a result of the scene. And then if you're traveling on the N3 North, we've got roadworks that are taking place right near the Geldenhuys turnoff, and they are causing delays coming out of the Earlands interchange. And then we've also got those peak time delays along the Mark 1 North between Boyson's Road and Empire Road. Please be on the lookout there and continue driving with K. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
All right, the cat's out of the bag. Remember those old filing cabinets we were talking about earlier in the week on the corners of West and Rivonia? It's all apparently about the messaging Cell C Business wants to put out there. For many SMEs, outdated systems, such as old cabinets and unreliable connectivity, aren't just frustrating. It turns out they're expensive. So when your network drops, obviously your productivity drops. And when your cloud is insecure, it will stall your growth. And that's why Cell C Business is calling out with their "Nothing Should Stop Your Business" campaign. Their message is simple. Reliable connectivity is the backbone of a modern business. And on top of that backbone, you need simple, secure, cloud-enabled solutions that are tailored to where your business actually is, whether you're starting out or scaling up, you need Cell C Business. If you're serious about modernizing your business and removing friction that will slow you down, it's really worth looking at what Cell C Business is offering. Cell C Business, nothing should stop your business.
Different sounds, different worlds.
Different artistic expressions, music, art, and fashion collide. Are you coming? Let's go to the place where the beat drops, the fashion pops, and the art rocks.
We're talking Focalistic, Dali Wonga, Mafigi Zolo, Kurt Darren, Maclara Doughboy, Zoe Mujicha, Claire Johnston from Mango Groove, the Twani Gospel Choir, and more. Mahindra Fusion Fest, Saturday 7th March, Sunbet Arena. Tickets on Ticketmaster now. See you there.
You hear that? That's the sound of business execution finally visible. No more chasing people and reports, no more disconnected systems, no more guessing if our business is performing or not. iStratGo connects strategy, people, performance, and day-to-day work into one clear software platform, so leaders can see what's working, what's not, and where to focus. Because when execution is visible, everything runs better. Book a demo on istratgo.com. istratgo.com.
In 2021, South African Airways' new journey started. And the journey has brought us here. Over 15 aircraft added to our fleet, thousands of new flights scheduled every year, and 19 routes on our map to connect you to more of the world. We're proud of how far we've come, but we're not finished yet. We're still raising our standards in the air and on the ground. South African Airways. Book your next flight at flysaa.com today.
702.
The Big Interview
with Bongani Bingwa.
All right, we were scheduled to speak to Soviet Lechanyane, who is, of course, the chair of that ad hoc committee in Parliament. We're just not able to get a hold of him today. He's not answering his phone. Perhaps it did skip his mind, or did he walk out on us? Ha, 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 ha. We brought in a legal eagle, somebody who understands all of these issues. Advocate Tembeka Ngugaitobi joins us now. Appreciate your availability at really very short notice. Thank you so much for your time.
Good morning. I don't want to say anything else other than good morning.
You would have watched if you were able to, some of the proceedings yesterday. And I suppose the real question that we need to deal with here is, can someone simply walk out of proceedings such as we saw yesterday? I mean, is this the same, for example, as the former President Jacob Zuma walking out of the Commission of Inquiry chaired by Judge Zondo? Are they the same thing here?
I think not, because the former President Zuma was under a subpoena. The Commission has got the powers to issue a subpoena if it's instituted under the Commissions Act. My understanding, look, I didn't actually watch the walkout, but I read about it in News 24.
Sure.
But as I understand, he had not been subpoenaed to appear before Parliament, so he had appeared voluntarily. So in that technical sense, it's not quite the same. But nevertheless, there is an offence of contempt of Parliament, which would bring a conduct where there is a formal parliamentary committee sitting and examining you under oath. You remember that the testimony is given under oath, which would bring that conduct probably within the parameters of contempt of Parliament, although it's a subcommittee, but it's exercising the authority of Parliament.
That was exactly Paul O'Sullivan's point, that he had appeared there as a voluntary witness. But I wonder if it's not semantics. If I think of the powers, privileges, and immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act, the idea that it could give Parliament subpoena power. So in other words, even a voluntary appearance could then be turned into a legally binding appearance before the inquiry or the proceedings. Could that argument not be made?
Yeah, if they do exercise the power of subpoena, but they elected not to exercise it. But I think you are right that it's a semantic debate, because the bottom line is that when he went in and he took an oath that he will testify truthfully, but he will stay and complete his testimony. And when he displays contemptuous conduct in front of Parliament, it's still contempt of Parliament, because when you are there, you are under the authority of Parliament. And so, in a sense, although there is no subpoena, you can't immediately take him to a criminal trial for violating a subpoena. You could still lodge a criminal complaint over the contempt of Parliament as an institution. I think parliamentarians will look back at this moment and probably regret that they didn't issue a subpoena, because it would have made their job easier. But I'm not privy to the considerations why a subpoena wasn't issued, but it should have been issued.
He argued, for example, and again, we don't have the chair to confirm this, but he argued that there was some prior arrangement. This was his second appearance. I think at his first, he said he came voluntarily from overseas. He had scheduled a flight based on some pre-arrangement, is what he claims. We, of course, can't confirm whether that's true or not. But if we look at the parallel processes that are underway to look at this alleged criminality in our law enforcement, there's the sense that the process chaired by Justice Madlanga is looking at evidence, it's looking at dates, it's looking at decisions, what was decided, what was not, what was acted upon, what was not. Whereas the nature of a parliamentary process is that politicians will play to the gallery. They will play to what voters may want to see.
So that's true, but Parliament is still a constitutional institution. It's still performing a legal task. It's still exercising power that's conferred to it by law. The difference is that the role players are politicians and not lawyers, but they are fundamentally performing a constitutional obligation. And when we as the public refer to Parliament as performing essentially a political task, there is essentially a sense of weakening the legal nature of what Parliament is performing. So, although you are correct that the role players are politicians, but what they are performing, they're giving effect to the Constitution, which is the foundational law of the country. And so people appearing there are giving effect to their own legal obligations. And that's why it's absolutely essential that there are sanctions and there are consequences to people that show contempt to Parliament.
What should those be? If you got that call and they asked for your legal advice, how should Parliament proceed with this one?
Well, I mean, firstly, they have the simple solution, which is to just issue a subpoena. You know, he has to come back if a subpoena is issued. And that's really the simplest thing that they can do today, because I never followed why they didn't issue a subpoena, because it appeared to me that even initially this had been a reluctant witness.
But is there any consequence for walking out? I mean, what could they do to deal with that issue?
Yeah, I mean, I think that at the moment, other than approaching a court of law to compel him to return to Parliament, or lodging a criminal case or an investigation into contempt of Parliament, those would be the three options. I mean, if they want him to give evidence, they must issue a subpoena. If they want legal consequences for contempt of Parliament, they must lodge a criminal case with the police. If they want him to come to court with or without a subpoena, they must approach a court of law and get a court order. But my own judgment is that the simplest solution is that they must just issue a subpoena, which they always had the power, and then they elected not to.
And maybe for every witness that comes forward next, that's how they should approach it.
Yeah, especially witnesses that illustrate signals of reluctance, you know, and then those signals of reluctance, you know, transform into impertinence, which is what I think you're describing happened.
Appreciate your time. I know it was very short notice. You won't tell Justice Rogers about this, hey? Appreciate your time.
No, this one is much better.
Appreciate your time, Advocate Tembeka Ndugadobi,
Cheers.
legal expert there. The the MPs could have saved themselves a few headaches by just simply issuing a subpoena.
EWN Business.
So, Haripe, let's get straight into business news now. Discovery says its banking unit is boosting their earnings.
Yeah, their shares were up 7.5% on the JSE yesterday. Discovery says it expects earnings to go up by at least 33%. For the 6 months to end December, the company has been boosted by a strong performance by Discovery Bank. Profits at the lending unit increased by between 210 and 230 million rand, up from the loss of 145 million rand in the previous period. Discovery Bank has experienced rapid growth, reaching some 1.3 million clients and having more than 3 million accounts. Earnings from newly signed insurance premiums were also up 12%, while Discovery Health delivered strong new business growth with an improved risk profile expected to benefit their medical schemes. Earnings growth was also solid at Discovery, with Discovery Health Medical Scheme announcing a 7.2% weighted average contribution increase for 2026.
Do you know in the movies, have you seen, is it 20th Century Fox, the one where the MGM, where they have the lion roar? Did you know that it's not a lion? It's a tiger. But this time around, the tiger is muted.
Yeah, the tiger in Tiger Brands is muted, often known for producing some of the best food items in the country. They're struggling to move some of those products. Major food producer Tiger Brands says it will report a solid performance for the past 4 months, despite stiff competition for consumers. The company reported subdued revenue growth of just 1% from continuing operations, while volume growth was up 2%. The performance comes as South African consumers continue to face pressure from high food, transport, and energy costs.
Your indicators?
The rand at 15 rand 91 against the US dollar, 18 rand 78 against the euro, and at 21 rand 46 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $5,186 an ounce, while platinum is up 4.5% at $2,374. Brent crude at $70.89 a barrel. More business after 8.
Time now for the latest eyewitness news, brought to you by Khaliks. Khaliks, for the businessman who knows what he wants. Sfiso Zulu, don't cry for me, Argentina. Give me the jabs.
Well, Bongani, good morning. The Gauteng Agriculture Department has begun a vaccination rollout, marking a critical campaign to curb the transmission of the foot and mouth disease. Armed with about 70,000 doses of the vaccine from Argentina, the department is intensifying its efforts to contain the spread of the disease. This morning, vaccination teams will inoculate around 3,000 cattle infected with FMD at a dairy farm in Johannesburg. MEC Vuyiswa Ramokgopa says the province has confirmed 228,000 cases of the disease to date.
The department has already administered 268,315 vaccine doses, and 128,925 animals have undergone controlled slaughter at designated facilities, which is part of our containment strategy.
The Gauteng Traffic Department says allowing scholar drivers to operate without licenses can potentially cause taxi violence. The drivers have raised concerns that issuing of permits have seen some delays. The frustrations were ventilated yesterday during a road safety and compliance workshop for drivers in Pretoria that was hosted by Metro officers. Jabulile Mbata was there.
The Gauteng Traffic Department says it has noticed that a large number of scholar transport drivers still operate without permits. They say they cannot allow this to continue because the permits dictate which routes the drivers can work from. Department spokesperson Selo Marimani says when they work without permits, they also get on the wrong routes, which could cause clashes with the taxi industry.
And we know that we have lost many of our drivers, our minibus taxi drivers, as a result of taxi violence. So we don't want to get there. So law enforcement will not stop because there are problems here and there.
He adds that they will look to solve problems that can be addressed in the short term. Jabulile Mbata, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
Opposition parties in Ekurhuleni are calling for Mayor Dr. Kagaza to resign amid political and governance instability in the metro. Yesterday, Kagaza's right-hand man, Jongizizwe Tlhabati, abruptly resigned from the mayoral committee with reports there was a big fallout between the two men. Tlhabati's resignation comes hot on the heels of the EFF pulling out of the governing coalition in the metro and Action SA refusing the ANC's offer to join. Tabiso Goba reports.
We wish to assure the residents of Ekurhuleni that there is no crisis in the city of Ekurhuleni. There is no crisis in the leadership of the executive mayor and his team.
That was Jongizizwe Dlabati during a media briefing last Friday. A week later, Dlabati resigned as the MMC for Finance and the ANC's regional secretary in Ekurhuleni. This has caused a further headache for Ekurhuleni Mayor Dr. Xhakaza. He's currently without a finance MMC, without a council speaker, and has a limited timeline to pass an adjustment budget while leading a minority coalition government. Both the EFF and Action SA have released media statement calling for Xhakaza's head. Tabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
And Iran and the United States have made significant progress in talks in Switzerland after the latest round of negotiations to avert a war between the longtime foes. They have agreed to further discussions next week in Austria. The Oman-mediated negotiations follow repeated threats from Donald Trump to strike Iran, with the US president last Thursday giving Tehran 15 days to reach a deal. While Iran has insisted the discussions focus only on its nuclear program, the US wants Tehran's missile program and its support for militant groups in the region curtailed. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has told state TV that the talks they made were very good and they are progressing, and they've entered into the element of an agreement that's very serious both in the nuclear field and the sanctions field. Director of NGO Middle East Treaty Organization Ahmad Kayahi warns US and Iran are at a juncture of either an agreement or war.
One is a lose-lose for Iran, its people, its government, United States, its military, its personnel, and for their allies across the region. This will not be limited to Iran's borders. It will spread. And in a volatile, already unstable Middle East.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng with showers expected. The temperatures are at lows of 16 and 18 degrees, peaking at highs between 27 and 29.
And in the traffic, we've got delays reported on the N1 North between the Golden Highway and the Deep Kloof interchange. This is due to peak time delays, and that major accident scene is still there on the N12 West, right near the Kilulis interchange. Delays at this particular moment coming out of Craft Road towards the N12 and R24 merge.
The top story this hour, Gauteng has started its vaccination rollout, marking a critical campaign to curb the transmission of the foot and mouth disease.
This week, all eyes were focused on the budget speech, and, as is the norm, there was a lot of talking. Yet, it said, the more things change, the more they remain as is. Like understanding that at Hilary, you will still get the best value for money, hand-picked quality business suits in all colors and fabrics, that you'll find shirts, footwear and accessories, jackets, blazers and chinos too. You'll get excellent service and tailoring. So as you contemplate your budget, rest assured that at Hilary you'll get more for your budget and a lot less speech. Hilary, for the businessman who knows what he wants.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
What does this milestone represent? 20 years of Meetings Africa. What does it represent for South Africa's business event industry?
What this has done is it has actually shifted completely the role of the business, my sector space, purely focusing on them being a player, significant contributor as well into the economy.
Yeah, that was the Chief Strategy Officer at South African Tourism.
Clement Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
In business, the right connections change everything. It's the stability you need for that once-in-a-lifetime virtual pitch, the lightning-fast speeds that keep you ahead of deadlines, and the consistent, high-quality signal your teams rely on every day. Because when your connectivity works seamlessly, so does your business. Power your workday with fast, reliable fiber from OpenServe, built to keep your operations running at full speed. Visit openserve.co.za today to learn more. T's and C's apply.
The decision to switch to Outsurers. Not only was it quick and easy, but gave us more favorable premiums and more cover.
Outsurance business insurance clients know that it pays to switch. And did you know you could get an out bonus of up to 10% of your paid premiums back for restaurants, pharmacies, and all other businesses? Get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance business insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
This message is brought to you by Eskom. Redefining for a better future.
Are you running a business? Every rand counts. Save electricity and cut costs by switching off lights, computers, and aircons after hours. Use energy-efficient lighting and equipment and make saving electricity part of your daily routine. Smart energy habits mean lower bills and greener business future. Let's power success efficiently.
Let's use electricity wisely. Eskom.
Mzansi, Walala Wasala. Play Powerball and Powerball Plus for a massive 91 million rand in total estimated jackpots this Friday and step closer to a world of many possibilities. Play Powerball for an estimated 61 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 30 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app or cell phone banking. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Morning, Bongani and the team. People are emotional, Bongani. People are emotional. Now, if I was Paul, I would have done the same. I would have walked out. I mean, I'm here to assist by providing evidence, but you guys are taking me. You're putting emotions in, in everything. Now I will have also walked out. Kessel, Mopitor.
Morning, 702 and the team. The irritating thing, the Paul Sullivan situation is these guys, I feel like, have missed a beautiful opportunity to get real answers out. They just focus on too much emotion and aggression and trying to prove a point or trying to prove that Paul Sullivan is a bad man. Bad man, good man, it doesn't matter. Can we just get the facts out? Like, why do they keep asking him questions that I feel like are irrelevant, which makes him look like he's actually the smarter one and stuff. Because there's too much aggression in the question. There's too much, I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking. It's just annoying.
Good morning, Bongani and team, and happy Friday. I'm not gonna sing it. I don't have the voice. But O'Sullivan was so arrogant. Ooh, he was so arrogant. And there was no flight he was catching. I mean, he knew he had to be there. I mean, when you have a session in Parliament like that, you give it the time, you give it the whole day if you have to, because you don't know when they're going to finish, unless it's your second day and the third day, and they know by 12 they'll be done. Then, yes, book your flight for later. But for him, walking out like that, and claiming he has a flight, there was no such. He was just being absolutely arrogant. And
good morning, Bongani. Thank you for having me. Well, I don't agree with Julius Malema. I don't think this is about white supremacy. The manner in which, those that are appearing before the Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee has now disintegrated into some, witch hunt of some sort. I think, our honorable parliamentarians must just deal with the questions at hand and ask direct questions rather than, character assassination of those that are appearing before them. Many thanks.
So one of the differences, if I understand these things correctly, is that if you are subpoenaed as a witness, it's a formal process by the body, a court, for example, or Parliament, that has called you to appear. If you're a voluntary witness, you are coming of your own volition, right? You are also, for example, if you are subpoenaed by Parliament, they'd have to make sure they get you there. They'll fly you there. But if you're coming voluntarily, it's at your own cost, right? And that's what he was arguing, that, look, I booked a flight. I made a pre-arrangement. I mean, it's a pity the chair hasn't joined us as he agreed to explain all of that. But it was not only was it the second day of the appearance, it was the second day of his second appearance. And he argues there was some prior arrangement that he was going to leave at 1. But ordinarily, yes. I mean, do you remember when Mary de Haas appeared before the ad hoc committee and she said, oh, but I was also here in Cape Town and I had plans with a friend. When are we going to finish? It was like, no, sweetheart, it doesn't quite work like that. You can't make plans with... He was like, no, it doesn't work like that. What can the MPs do? It may well be that without a subpoena in the first place, probably very little. From what Advocate Tembeka Ngcukaitobi said, the most they can do is issue a subpoena for him to come a third time. But what use will that really be in terms of what they want to get to the bottom of? And I think from what we heard yesterday, there was only 1 or 2 questions outstanding anyway at the time that he left. What would you have done?
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance, a chance for you to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First, 1,000 Rand for the answer, then 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. Today's answer comes from Titus. Titus, please will you give us today's answer?
This answer, Bongani, is bodyguard.
Bodyguard. Ooh, I like that answer, Titus. Tell me, have you got yourself a quote from Outsurance?
I've sent them SMS. I'm waiting for their reply.
Biscuit, 1,000 Rand is coming your way. All thanks to 702. And Titus, protect us from yourself, eh? Be a bodyguard.
Yes, bodyguard.
All in good fun. All in good fun. Titus walking away there with 1,000 Rand, courtesy of Outsurance and 702. All right, there you have it. His answer is bodyguard. If the answer is bodyguard, what is the question? Call us if you know on 011 883 0702.
EWN Sport.
So Cindy Paluta, I posted on my Instagram, am I jinxing the game tomorrow? Because I'm wearing the Pirates shirt. It used to be that Muteo and I used to say, you don't wear the shirt before match day, because otherwise you're going to jinx it. Muteo says to me, he says, I don't care because they lose anyway. He says,
So
"There's no
I do.
jinxing
We
Pirates."
know. We know that is my superstition about wearing the Springbok jersey not on match day.
Yeah.
But I think you're okay because you wear the Pirates jersey more often than not. And given the season that they're having, I don't think it's a jinx or not. Amo seems to think that I've jinxed the team because I said Pirates are probably going to win tomorrow 2-0.
Yes.
And she got so angry with me and said, Cindy, every single time that you have said Pirates are going to win, they don't win. But I do think that they are going to win 2-0 tomorrow. And apart from it being the biggest football rivalry match on the African continent, it's a lot closer than usual this season because a win tomorrow for Pirates puts them back top of the table. Well, Kaizer Chiefs will go into the top 3 and they'll be within 5 points of the leaders. Here's Orlando Pirates captain Kosinati Sibisi.
Look, a derby is a derby, whether you're in 8th or in 16th position, it doesn't really matter. It's a game you have to win. There's bragging rights up for grabs, it's a game of consequence this time around where we know if we win, we go top of the table again. So for us, it's just taking the game as it comes.
In the Premier League tonight, Wolves host Aston Villa tomorrow, City away at Leeds, and then on Sunday, Arsenal are hosting Chelsea after United have played Palace. The Proteas are through to the semi-finals of the T20 Cricket World Cup after beating the West Indies by 9 wickets, and India beat Zimbabwe by 72 runs. Proteas cruised the win through captain Aiden Markram, who was unbeaten on 82. Markram's not worried that the team might take the foot off the gas.
The boys are fully locked in and we've been on good and bad sides at World Cups, and it's definitely not something this group would take for granted. The guys have a lot of pride and are really on a mission to try achieve something, and you sort of don't want to create things where there aren't really anything. So if we need to guard against it based on what our eyes tell us, we'll mention it, but for the time being, the guys have been tracking really well.
I'm struggling to figure out if they should have had one of those close calls to sort of get to where they are.
Like Afghanistan?
I suppose,
second super over?
So I'll take you back to 1999, Cindy,
No.
the horror tournament. Part of what made that difficult to swallow was they had all those close games where they shouldn't have had a chance to begin with. But Lance Klusener kept saving them repeatedly, over and over and over again, whereas this has been just outside of Afghanistan. This has been a smooth ride. And even there, they got through the Afghanistan game. And so I'm a believer.
Okay, well, the hope will kill you. Anyway, this also means Sunday's game between India and the West Indies is like a quarterfinal. The winner will go through. Today, New Zealand must beat England to keep their semi-final hopes alive. In golf at the Investec SA Open, South African Dean Burmester a group on 5 under 1 ahead of the field.
You don't win a tournament on Thursdays, but you can play yourself out of a tournament on a Thursday. So I'm happy not to do that. I think there are a few really good scores. I'm proud of the way I hung in there. It was, to only make 2 bogeys on a golf course like this is good in the wind. And obviously to make 7 birdies is special.
The Sharks won't have Apalele Fassi for at least 6 weeks due to a shoulder injury. They're in action tomorrow against the Bulls at Loftus. That's after the Lions have hosted the Stormers at Ellis Park. And the 2026 MotoGP season opens in Thailand tomorrow with a sprint race scheduled to start at 10 and the main race on Sunday. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
To live wealthier, you need to be able to grow your assets.
At Standard Bank Private, you get a team of internationally acclaimed financial experts to advise you on local and global investment strategies. Plus, being with a leader in home loans, you can start expanding your property portfolio. So, come live wealthier with Africa's best private bank. Apply online at standardbank.co.za. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Hi, this is Alia Itzebet, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. A reminder that you can still shoot for the stars while playing responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counselling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
New deals for the Checkers Extravaganza are here. Save extra on top picks, like Coca-Cola Original Taste Less Sugar Soft Drink 2 litre any 3 for 69 Rand, Kellogg's All Brand Flakes 1 kg for 79.99, and Omo Auto Liquid Detergent 1.5 litres or capsules 14 per pack, any 2 for 145 Rand. Save 75 Rand. Valid until 1 March, only at Checkers, Checkers Hyper, or shop on 6060.
What do you call someone who thinks outside the box? Creative. But what about someone who codes the box, brands it, sells it, rebrands it, and leads a team that reinvents it? That's a Red and Yellow graduate. Apply now to Unleash Remarkable with Red and Yellow Creative School of Business, a member of Honoris United Universities.
EWN Traffic.
All right, 10 to 8, this EWN Traffic brought to you by Persia. Pretty tough. Amo?
Well, Bongani, on the N1 South, we've got a major accident scene right after Rivonia Road is causing heavy traffic volumes. Please be on the lookout there. Rivonia Road in itself, it's backed up towards Paulshof while traveling in the Fourways area. Delays on Winnie Mandela Drive. This is between Witkoppen Road and Leslie Avenue due to an earlier accident. And then there's also queuing traffic on the N12 as well as the R24 West. This is between Barber Road and the N12 merge due to a major accident scene that happened near the Glulies interchange. So please try to avoid this scene. You can still use the R21 North through Jet Park, especially if you're heading towards areas like Clinton Park. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
When your business needs strength, reliability, and serious capability, look no further than the Persia Professional Pickup Range. Built tough for South African conditions, Persia pickups are engineered for fleets, professionals, and the agricultural heroes who keep this country moving. From rugged load capacity to fuel-efficient performance, these pickups work as hard as you do. So whether you're building, delivering, or farming, Persia has a model that's ready for the job. Visit your nearest Persia dealership today and power your business with the confidence of a Persia professional. Landtrack, it's pretty but tough.
702.
What's the question?
For 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance, please tell me what's the question if the answer is bodyguard. Let's go to Desmond. Desmond, what's the question?
Good morning, Bongani. How are you?
I'm well, Desmond. What's the question?
The question is, from which soundtrack is the song I Will Always Love You stand 14 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard 100?
Yeah, this day, 1993, it broke that record. It was the 14th week in a row that it was at the top of the Billboard Hot 100. And of course, The Bodyguard is still the biggest selling soundtrack of all time. Desmond, have you got yourself a quote from Outsurance?
Yes, Bongani.
What's it backing, my friend? What's it backing, my friend?
I give you
2,000 Rand is coming your way. All thanks
Thank
to
you very
Outsurance
much, Bongani.
and 72. Thank you, Desmond. Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you.
I'm just looking at the track list. I Will Always Love You. This song, I Have Nothing, which I think is one of the most difficult songs to sing in pop music. I'm Every Woman. Run to You. Queen of the Night. I mean, this was an absolute bomb of a soundtrack. Still the best-selling soundtrack of all time by the late, great Whitney Houston.
63-year-old Almero knows all about saving with Outsurance.
We do save 417 Rand. That's about 5,000 Rand a year.
That's an awesome saving on Almero's 2021 Ford Ranger.
And there's an out bonus that you get if you don't claim for 3 years. I am really looking forward to it.
How much money could Outsurance save you? Get a quote now. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Licensed insurer in FSP. TCs and information online.
Calling all wedding planners and venues, restaurants, conference centers, and hotels. Do you need tables and chairs? Home in One has it all. Do you need cutlery, crockery, table linen, and restaurant equipment? Home in One has it all. Do you need tents, gazebos, or umbrellas? Home in One has it all. Affordable prices, the latest trends, with 2 branches in Pretoria and Johannesburg. Shop online at homein1.co.za because we're your #1 choice. Home in One has it all.
Right, gang. Are we all in? Liam? Here. Ethan? Here. Andrew? Here. Luca? Luca?
Yeah.
Amelia?
Yeah.
Violet?
Yeah, Mom.
Introducing the Chungun CS75 Pro, a powerful turbocharged engine, modern safety features, and room with 7 seats for everyone.
Hey, that's not everyone. You forgot Choppy, Mom.
Oh, Choppy. The all-new CS75 Pro from $4,999 per month. T's and C's apply.
Chang'an. Driven to evolve.
Naked people smell expensive because naked people spend less money on insurance premiums and more money on fancy French colognes with names they can't pronounce. With Naked, you can cover your car, home, and stuff in seconds. And because it's all online, it also costs less. Go to naked.insure now, get a car insurance quote in 90 seconds, and start smelling like naked people. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
702.
702. What's gone viral?
With Kabazela.
Ooh, what's that little cheeky creature in front of you, Kabazela?
It's not Bongani Bingwa's pouting. Well, good morning to you,
Wow.
Belle. Yeah, this video is it's crazy to see. I mean, I've never seen a young or baby wrinkles before. So it looks as though this is the Ekurhuleni Metro policeman on a motorbike had pulled up on the side of the highway, and he's standing there where it's that off sort of gutter part of the highway, and then there's some felt. And the next minute, this little baby wrinkles slithers out of the bush like Speedy Gonzales and stands up on its kind of back tail and starts striking at this guy. And he's now filming it with his phone, and you can see he puts his boot out there. But this thing is so aggressive, and it keeps going at him. And I mean, it's a thing to see. I'm amazed he didn't run away. I would have been out of there like as quick as that thing slithered towards me. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened in the end. I'm sure he just let it go, and it probably slithered back into the bush. But I wanted to talk to our 702 family this morning about snake encounters. So maybe you've come across a snake in your home. Maybe you've come across a snake when you've been out hiking on the golf course. Many times that I've encountered them on the golf course, and also in my home. So I wanted to find out what was it? What kind of snake was it? Did you identify it? And how did you get rid of it? Did you call a snake handler? And what are some of the things you should do when you come across a snake out, especially in the wild? I mean, instinct says just get out of there as quick as you can. But I mean, do you stop? Do you just wait and hold your breath? Let's hear those this morning.
All right, your snake encounter stories, let us know.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is with South African Airways. From here to the world, their partners help you connect your journey seamlessly. Book now at flysaa.com.
Well, Bongani, we've got delays on the N12 West as well as the R24 West. The delays on the N12 West starts from Croft Road towards the R24 merge, and that's due to a major accident scene. I'll have more details coming up shortly. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
In 2021, South African Airways' new journey started. And the journey has brought us here. Over 15 aircraft added to our fleet, thousands of new flights scheduled every year, and 19 routes on our map to connect you to more of the world. We're proud of how far we've come, but we're not finished yet. We're still raising our standards in the air and on the ground. South African Airways. Book your next flight at flysaa.com today.
702.
702.
Feedback with Baphelile Sambo.
Standing all alone for the photo, Baphelile. Good morning.
Oh my God. Bongani, I'm not even gonna, you know what? I almost got into trouble. Anyway, our big interview with Advocate Tembeka Nqukaitobi about Paul O'Sullivan walking out. Stephen Grootes from The Money Show actually agrees with Amos' comment saying that the chair's mumness was way too loud. He shared this clip.
Hey, how's it, Bongani? How's it, 702 fam? It's Stephen here. It's Friday morning. I'm so with Amo on this whole thing about the committee and O'Sullivan. You know, where was the chair? And I thought Tembeka Nqukaitobi really explained it so nicely. I now get what can happen and what can't happen. I still have questions, though. I mean, okay, Julius Malema cries about the contempt of Parliament, but he also disrupted Parliament when the president was speaking. What was it, 2 years ago? He did exactly the same thing.
I mean, and wouldn't it be ironic, as I said earlier, if the same parliamentary officers or security guys would have had to force Paul O'Sullivan to stay that had once kicked Julius Malema and the EFF out of the House for those very disruptions. Yeah, ne? South Africa is a movie.
This is EWN.
MPs want Paul O'Sullivan to face consequences for walking out of their meeting, and the ANC is annoyed that attempts to remove Dada Morero as mayor have not stopped. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Political parties have called for the immediate arrest of forensic investigator Paul O'Sullivan for being in contempt of Parliament. O'Sullivan walked out of the ad hoc committee meeting yesterday, where he was being asked about claims that he interfered with the work of law enforcement. This angered members of the committee, who now want him to be summoned to respond to outstanding questions from the evidence leaders. Babalondenze reports.
The EFF says Paul O'Sullivan is a delinquent witness who fled from Parliament while under cross-examination. The party says O'Sullivan has been an arrogant and dishonest witness from the onset, who first attempted to evade appearing before the ad hoc committee. EFF leader Julius Malema said O'Sullivan effectively undermined the committee and is currently in contempt of Parliament.
He's not going to leave until you release him. He's walking out of Parliament.
The MK party in a statement said it will be engaging with Speaker Thoko Didiza to open a case for the immediate arrest of O'Sullivan. ANC MP and committee member Xola Ngola also called for action to be taken.
The chap just talked out of a parliamentary proceedings after he had been served under oath, so it needs to be taken serious, very serious.
But O'Sullivan says he came to the committee out of his own free will and had every right to leave. The committee expects to get written legal advice sometime today. Babalondenze, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
Retired Judge Bernard Mwepe will lead a 4-member investigative panel to determine whether the head of the South African Navy, Mondele Lubese, ignored a direct order from the president. The order barred Iran's participation in the Wheel of Peace naval drills that took place at False Bay in Cape Town earlier this year. Despite this instruction, Iranian forces continued to participate, sparking a formal investigation and potential disciplinary action within defense. The exercise, which included BRICS-aligned nations, China and Russia, prompted sharp criticism from the United States. The probe has been moved from the Department of Defense and military veterans to the presidency in order to safeguard its independence and ensure it conclude in a month. Dimakatso Lishuru reports.
At the heart of the investigation are serious allegations that despite President Ramaphosa's clear order to keep Iran out of the Chinese-led naval drill, it was ignored by the head of the Navy, Vice Admiral Monde Lobese. The exercise, held off Cape Town and involving BRICS-aligned nations, sparked international concerns. The U.S. said allowing Iran to participate threatened maritime security and regional stability. The fallout came amid a deadly crackdown on protesters in Iran that left thousands of people dead. Presidential spokesperson Vincent Magwenya confirmed that the panel can summon anyone in the defense force or public service and request documents, including classified documents. Their job to uncover why the president's order was not followed, who is responsible, and what consequences should follow. Timakazo Leshoro, Eyewitness News.
The ANC in Johannesburg says it's frustrated by repeated attempts to remove its mayor, Dada Morero, from the city's highest office. Morero was set to face a no-confidence vote yesterday, but the parties that filed it were nowhere to be found when it was time to debate the motion. Councillors from Al Jama, the UDM and ATM who were behind the motion walked out just before it was called. Since December, Al Jama has submitted 3 unsuccessful motions against the mayor, despite being part of the ANC-led coalition government in the city. Alfara Mushwana reports.
The city of Johannesburg is governed by a coalition made up of the ANC, EFF, Patriotic Alliance and smaller political parties including Al Jama. The Al Jama party also has one of its councillors and former mayor Thapelo Ahmad serving in the mayoral committee as the MMC for community development. Despite having representation in the executive, Al Jama continues to call for Morero's removal from office. ANC Regional Secretary Sasabona Manganye says the party is tired of all these failed no-confidence motions.
That whatever concerns they have, they allow us to work with them in addressing those particular issues. But I can tell you, in whatever concerns they have, none of those concerns are worth a motion of no confidence.
Morero has survived 3 motions of no confidence from Al Jama and 1 from the DA over the past year. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
And it's emerged that the killing of civilians in Sudan's war more than doubled in 2025 compared with the previous year. That's according to the United Nations Rights Chief Volker Turk, who has warned that thousands more dead are unidentified or remain missing. Rape, gang rape, sexual torture and slavery have also surged, with more than 500 victims documented in 2025. Since April 2023, Sudan has been engulfed in a conflict between the army and the Rapid Support Forces that has killed tens of thousands, displaced 11 million people, and triggered one of the world's worst humanitarian crises. Turk told the Human Rights Council that foreign sponsors are funding what he calls a high-tech conflict.
This war is ugly, it's bloody, and it's senseless. I cannot help but wonder how those striving or benefiting from this madness, both inside and outside the country, can sleep at night. If much of the international community continues to act as a passive bystander, then something is fundamentally wrong with our collective moral compass.
Gold is trading at $5,185.76 an ounce. The rand is at 15.90 to the dollar, 21.47 to the pound, 18.79 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $70.78 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident scene reported on the N1 South after Rivonia Road. Delays from the Baku turn off. There's also queuing traffic in Kaisand along Malibongo Drive due to another accident seen in the northerly direction. It happened near South Africa Drive, causing delays.
And in your sport, more than decades of bragging rights on the line in tomorrow's Soweto derby between Chiefs and Pirates. The Proteas are through to the T20 Cricket World Cup semi-finals after a 9-wicket win over the West Indies, and India beat Zimbabwe. Second round of the Investec SA Open underway in Stellenbosch. Burmester in a group with a 1-shot overnight lead. And another 2 derbies in the URC tomorrow, including the Lions hosting the Stormers at Ellis Park.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng with showers expected later. The temperatures will peak at highs between 27 27 and 28 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Political parties have called for the immediate arrests of forensic investigator Paul O'Sullivan for being in contempt of Parliament.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Your brain's a well-oiled machine. Now put it to work in the brain of 702. Enter on primemediaplus.com. T's and C's apply.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
So here's a question. How much is the political posturing by some of the members of parliament in that ad hoc committee taking away from the really important work they have to do? Stephen Groote sent us a voice note that really made me think, because we move so quickly in terms of the news cycle. Here's Julius Malema angered at somebody being in contempt of Parliament. Julius who? Who used to heckle presidents? Who used to get kicked out of Parliament because he was in contempt of Parliament? Do you see what I mean? And because they didn't subpoena him, from what we heard from Advocate Tembeka Ngcukaitobi, I don't know what leg they may have to stand on. O'Sullivan's point all along was, but it was a voluntary process. This was the second day of my second appearance. I came at my own expense. How then do they punish him? Or do you think even the calls for the immediate arrest of Paul O'Sullivan are still about posturing, are still about we'll show you? Because again, the posturing, we're playing to the gallery. And again, it's not really whether you like Paul O'Sullivan or not, but how much is all of this drama and theatre taking away from the really important work the ad hoc committee is supposed to get to?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Here's another fun fact. We told you a little earlier on about the Bodyguard soundtrack. The song I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston's probably biggest song. It stayed a record 14 weeks at number one on top of the Billboard Hot 100. The second single, of course, that was released from the Bodyguard soundtrack was I'm Every Woman, the remake of the Shaka Khan classic. But get this, the third single from that album was Whitney Houston's power ballad, I Have Nothing, and it's just hit a major milestone. It has now, along with I Will Always Love You, surpassed more than 1 billion streams, right? More than 1 billion views on YouTube. And it was, of course, as I say, originally released in 1993. I Have Nothing peaked at number 4 and has been viewed on YouTube more than 1 billion times. And it's the second song from that soundtrack that has had that kind of viewership on YouTube.
Let's talk.
We're listening.
Hi, Kamazela. You should have played that clip, man. This guy was actually talking to that baby snake. I think it was a cobra. There was a time where he was swearing it. It was actually funny.
Morning, Bongan. With Selma from Roodepoort. When I was about 3 years old, my mom and her friend, and of course I was in the back of the car, were driving back home in Pretoria. Now, those days there weren't tarred roads yet. And just before we got home, we saw this, what I think they call them copperheads, a koperkapel, slithering across the road and back into some bushes. So that was my first encounter with a snake. Thanks for a lovely show. Bye.
Hi, Jonathan. Yeah, so we this week came across about an 80 centimeter long puff adder on my patio. You know where we live at Copperleaf. And yeah, it was quite an interesting experience having security remove it and go and relocate it. Quite an interesting experience. Thanks.
Oh my goodness. Snakes. I am absolutely terrified of snakes. An irrational fear. I get so uncomfortable when I'm around them. When I was younger, I was looking for Easter eggs. We were near the Kruger Park. Managed to find a boomslang. Also, Kruger Park, a different year, managed to pick up a snake thinking it was a stick. So needless to say, since then I've been terrified. My wife knows if there's a snake, she needs to make sure she's out the way. I'll protect her from anything, but snakes is not one of them.
Hi, Bongani. Interesting enough, yesterday at our work, the environmental department was educating us about that, the non-venomous and venomous snakes and what to do when you see them. And one of the things that they said is that snakes normally don't attack unless they feel threatened. So if you say it first, just make sure you show it that you're not fighting, then it won't attack. That's literally what they said.
I don't know if that's always true, because Kabazela's video, and you can check it out on X at John O'Loud, it's a tiny little thing that comes out of the bush and starts charging at this man. And part of what you can hear him say is, "You little thing, you are coming after me, you little thing." And this snake keeps darting its head towards him. But obviously, it's harmless, and he certainly doesn't seem afraid of it. Talking of chronic fears, I would be okay with a snake. I know people who don't even want to see it on television. I have a WhatsApp group where a friend of mine will absolutely, he's the administrator of the group, he will take you out of the group if you post anything that has a snake. You have to write, "Trigger warning, snake video coming up." Then he knows not to open it.
So you're not sharing this video from Kawazela?
No, not in that group. Not if I want to stay. On the other hand, I'm not so self-righteous. I have a chronic fear of birds.
Yes.
As I have often told on the show. So I don't judge people who are afraid of snakes.
How exactly are you supposed to communicate to a snake that you're not fighting? Put your hands up. What are you supposed to do?
Well, I think that voice note that says knowing which ones are venomous and which ones are not would also be helpful.
There is no time for that.
I've handled a python. I've had a python curled all around me, and I've handled it
under supervision.
Perfectly fine. Yeah, of course. Yes. Of course. But get anything flying next to me, sudden movements. I don't care if it's a pigeon. Yeah, let's just say you don't want to see what that will be like. You've got a snake story, Amo?
Oh, yeah. We once had a snake in our backyard at my mother's house. Somehow, we just saw our dog right at the corner of the end of the house, just curling himself up there, right? And we thought maybe he was sick or, so we went to him and we tried to... Then, as we try to comfort the dog, we see a snake at the other side of the yard.
Had it bitten the dog?
I think they had a little bit of a fight
moment,
or something. Yeah. And then... I went back into, I didn't want to know. After all of that, I didn't want to know.
What happened to the dog?
It survived. It was okay. It wasn't bitten or anything. I think it also got scared after it fought with the snake, and then it curled itself up in the corner, and the snake was over there. And we went back into the house, and my sister dealt with the snake.
Are you not worried about what happened to Amu and the family?
Well, clearly she's here. She lived to tell the tale. If my dog had an encounter with a snake, I'm not going to just go into the house and leave the poor dog alone.
And I promise you guys, the way my sister handled that snake, it was, to this day, I can't understand her
She's
braveness.
your hero.
I'm just like, because she just took a, what do you call this? A spade, right?
And killed the snake.
No, and so we live next to an open felt, and she threw it over to the open
field.
Yeah.
All right. The other question that we need to settle once and for all, the best joker of all time, is it Joaquin Phoenix, who celebrates his birthday today, or is it Heath Ledger? I'm going to leave it to Lionel in Alberton to decide. Lionel?
How are you?
I'm very well, Lionel. I'm nervous. As to what you're going to say. Put me out of my misery. Which one?
If you had to watch every single Batman movie and you see the Joker, the only person that comes to mind is Heath Ledger. And his ultimate piece is where it was unscripted, when he blows up the hospital, where it was delayed bomb reaction and they kept it in script just for that moment. But you cannot compare any Joker. They don't even come near Heath Ledger.
Not
if
even
you want voice.
Hold on, Lionel. Not even Jack Nicholson?
Well, I would actually rate Jack Nicholson as probably my second best.
Ever dance with the devil under the moonlight? I always ask that of all my friends.
I think the worst one, unfortunately, would have to be Jared Leto as the Joker.
All right, Lionel, putting us out of our misery. Of course, I agree with him. Heath Ledger, for me, is the ultimate Joker. Joaquin, though, did do a good job, Mateo. Let's
Did
be
a really
fair.
good job, and Amu has been trying to convince us of that. An honorable mention for me, and Anthony Teixeira reminded me of this, the cartoon character of the Joker, Mark Hamill, the guy who played Luke Skywalker, did a very, very good.
That's what Lionel, I think, was trying to say. That
Yeah.
as far as voice is concerned,
he killed
as
it.
far as voice is concerned. But yeah, no, absolutely. Heath Ledger, may his soul rest in peace.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic brought to you by Persia. Pretty tough. Amo, stick to traffic, please. No plugs for Joaquin.
Yeah, well, we've got delays on the Malibongo Drive. This is as you come out of Witkoppen Road towards South Africa Drive. An accident has been reported there in the Kaisand area. Please be on the lookout. And if you're traveling on the N1 South in the Bryanston area, queuing traffic as well between the Baku interchange and Winnie Mandela Drive, also due to an accident scene. And then peak time pressure piling up on the N1 North between Malibongo Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
When your business needs strength, reliability, and serious capability, look no further than the Persia Professional Pickup Range. Built tough for South African conditions, Persia pickups are engineered for fleets, professionals, and the agricultural heroes who keep this country moving. From rugged load capacity to fuel-efficient performance, these pickups work as hard as you do. Whether you're building, delivering, or farming, Persia has a model that's ready for the job. Visit your nearest Persia dealership today and power your business with the confidence of Persia Professional. Landtrek, it's pretty but tough.
When the brightest brains collide in the biggest general knowledge quiz in Gauteng, it's time for the Brain of 702.
Twisting things up a little this Friday, the last brain of 702 for 2026, until, of course, the grand finale. How quickly has it all gone, hey? So, this one more time for the brain of 702. Let's put brilliance on display. There's 130,000 Rand in the kitty, 1,500 Rand for this round. And of course, whoever wins at the end of this afternoon will walk away with 10,000 Rand as the weekly brain of 702 and be a contestant in the final brain on Monday. We've got Marco. We played with you, Marco, yesterday.
Good morning, Bongani and listeners.
You won sudden
yesterday
death in the afternoon yesterday. It got nerve-wracking, didn't it?
It was absolutely nerve-wracking. You are quite right. Yo.
Let's hope it goes a little smoother this morning. Of course, Stembiso wants none of that because you want to win, Stembiso, don't you?
Of course, Uncle Bongani, but hey, he's been on a good run, hey?
Listen, you just never know. You just never know. You're a first-time player, are you?
I'm a first-time player.
Do you have a particularly strong category?
Jack of all trades, I'm Malum Bongani.
Jack of all trades, master of all, hey?
Master of none.
Good luck to you. You both know how it works. I've got 15 questions, 60 seconds in which to ask them. Answer as many as you can correctly to win the round. If the scores are tied, as Marco well knows, we will play sudden death. Marco, you get the first bite of the cherry as our reigning champion. Here we go. KG, start the clock.
3, 2, 1.
Spell the word eyelash.
E-Y-E-L-A-S-H.
Correct. The acronym GOAT stands for what of all time?
Greatest.
Correct. Which word means noisy fight? Fray or accord?
Accord.
Fray. The computer acronym LAN stands for what area network?
Local.
Correct. From which movie is the quote, "You're gonna need a bigger boat"?
Pass.
Jaws. A person who travels frequently is called a globe what?
Trotter.
Correct. True or false, proteins are not organic compounds?
False.
Correct. In which province is Lake Fundudzi, Northwest or Limpopo?
Limpopo.
Correct. Which bird family has species called bald, marshal, and fish?
No, pass.
The eagle. What will grow on trees, capers or cloves?
Citrus.
Cloves. And 10 questions asked of you. 6 correct answers, Marco. 6 correct answers. It's got you through before, so let's see if it does this time. Stay on the lines. Tembiso, 6 or better to stay in the game. Are you ready?
Ready.
KG, start the clock.
3, 2, 1.
Spell the word excited.
EXCITED.
Correct. The acronym KISS stands for Keep It What, Stupid?
Simple.
Correct. Which word means very thin? Corpulent or gaunt?
Gaunt.
Correct. The computer acronym DOS stands for Disk What System?
Operating.
Correct. From which movie is the famous quote, "I'll be back"?
The Terminator.
Correct. A person who usually spreads gossip is called a rumor what?
Monger.
Correct. True or false? Carbohydrates are organic compounds.
True.
Correct. In which province is Lake Chrissy, Limpopo or Mpumalanga?
Mpumalanga.
Correct. Which bird family has species called Emperor, King, and African?
Eagle.
Penguins. What will grow on trees, cocoa beans or saffron?
Saffron.
Cocoa beans is the answer we were looking for there. No matter. No matters, Tembiso. Beginner's luck, hey? 8 correct answers.
Like.
8 correct answers you got right.
Ooh, that was tight.
It was tight, but you got through, hey?
Whew, yeah.
Congratulations. 1,500 Rand you have won. You'll play again with John Pullman. And of course, if you remain standing, you will be the brain of the day. And get ready to be in that final on Monday. Marco, good run you had, but not to be, I'm afraid. It's Tembiso winning the brain of 702 this hour.
702.
The Worldview.
News from elsewhere in the world. Adam Gilchrist out for the morning. Welcome back, Vicky Turner. Vicky, a very good morning to you. Let's start with those Jeffrey Epstein files. Hilary Clinton, the former Secretary of State, testifying about her own supposed relationship with Epstein.
And it started off with a bit of chaos, to be honest. Chaos broke out because it's a closed-door deposition and no photos are allowed. But it turns out that the Republican Lauren Boebert took a prohibited photo of Clinton, leaked it to social media. And as the proceedings went on, her team suddenly became aware, Clinton's team suddenly became aware that these pictures of her giving evidence were circling social media. So they stopped the proceedings for about an hour or so. It's a weird thing because they were being filmed. The whole session is being filmed, but Clinton's legal team have to review any footage before it's released. Now, Hillary Clinton did come out afterwards and say, I wish that the press were allowed in there to watch the whole thing because I don't want to tell you secondhand what I said. So what did she say? Well, basically, she said that she didn't know Jeffrey Epstein. She hadn't met Jeffrey Epstein. I think really this was a cue up for her husband, Bill Clinton, who's going to be giving evidence today. And we were told before either of the Clintons started giving evidence that they were going to try and blow Trump apart because, of course, President Trump, the US president, is mentioned in the Epstein files over 35,000 times. Now, of course, being mentioned in those files is no admission or indication of guilt. We have to point that out. But I think that the Clintons do want to gun for Trump because they're saying, why are we being called and he isn't? Now, we've all seen the pictures of Bill Clinton enjoying the Epstein lifestyle, swimming in his pool with Ghislaine Maxwell. We also know by flight logs, of course, that Bill was on the Epstein plane many, many times. But as I said, she has always maintained she never even met the guy, although we do know he gave $20,000 to her campaign back in, I think it was 2006 or something, to become the Democratic nominee. And Ghislaine Maxwell actually went to Hillary Clinton's daughter's wedding, Chelsea's wedding, in 2010. So after Epstein had been convicted of those paedophile crimes. So today, I think, is going to be more explosive than yesterday. But I think Hillary Clinton, heading the way for her husband to try and fell Trump.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Defense Bull will offer because he certainly knew Epstein. Tell me about assisted dying. This is on Jersey, yeah?
Yeah, Jersey is one of the British Isles, of course. Now, yesterday, they stunned everyone, I think, by approving a new assisted dying law, which allows terminally ill adults with full mental capacity to choose an assisted death. Now, eligibility applies to those who are expected to die within 6 months or within 12 months for neurological conditions such as motor neurone disease. I think this debate has raged around the world. It's a hard one, isn't it? I'm not sure which side of the fence I sit on, to be perfectly honest. But I do know that some people are saying, you know, I was told I was going to die within 6 months. 20 years later, here I am. Now, Jersey's time frame differs from proposals in the rest of the UK. They want everything to happen within 6 months. It just depends now on royal assent, and that's not decided by the king like it sounds it is. It's actually decided by the Ministry of Justice for Crown Dependencies. Now, the Isle of Man, which is another British isle, has already voted that, yes, they want to introduce this as well. That was 11 months ago, and the MOJ is still to give royal assent to that. So we wait and see. And as for the UK, it looks unlikely because our assisted dying bill has got to go through the House of Lords, the unelected chamber, of course, and they're holding it up. And what they've done is added something like 1,200 amendments to the bill. Now, every amendment has to be debated, and they've got to debate all those amendments by May. That's 1,200 amendments by May. That ain't going to happen, which means that the whole bill has to start again.
I think we'll come to find that in the future, this kind of thing will be commonplace, particularly, of course, I think when people are severely ill and in difficulty and pain. I think it just stands to reason. Vicky Turner with this morning's World View.
EWN Business.
What is it worth, Muteo, and is it true?
Yes, truest results coming out yesterday. The retailers reporting a 1.3% rise in half-year profit as strong sales at its UK shoe chain Office countered the weakness seen here back at home. Truworths Africa's retail sales fell by 3.6% to 7.9 billion rand. In contrast, the UK-based business was up 6.4%. A group trading profit, which excludes interest income, increased by 2.8%. That was to 2.1 billion rand, while group retail sales were unchanged at 12.5 billion rand. They're not the only retailer that's been complaining about sales. Tiger Brands as well complaining about those. So that just gives a picture of the pressure on households.
And it turns out if you help people avoid queues at the airport, that's good business.
Very good business. Discovery was up 7.5% on the JSE yesterday. The company saying it expects earnings to go up by at least 33% for the 6 months ended in December. Discovery has been boosted by a strong performance by Discovery Bank. Profits at the lending unit increasing by between 210 and 230 billion rand, up from a loss of 145 million in the previous period. Discovery Bank has experienced rapid growth, reaching some 1.3 million clients and more than 3 million accounts. Earnings from newly signed insurance premiums also going up 12%. For its health business, earnings growth was also solid there with, of course, medical aid charges going up 7.2%.
Where's the rand?
15 Rand 90 cents against the US dollar, 18 Rand 78 against the euro, and at 21 Rand 45 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $5,196 an ounce, or platinum is now up more than 5.5% at $2,403 an ounce. Brent crude at $71.02 a barrel. That deal between the US and Iran not happening yesterday. The gold price are still remaining quite pressured. Those talks continue next week. That's your morning business. Stephen Crotis with more this afternoon.
And Sfiso Zulu with the latest eyewitness news. I only have one word for you, sir. Moo.
Bongani, good morning. President Cyril Ramaphosa is promising vaccine equity as the Agriculture Department's foot and mouth disease campaign gains momentum. This week, 1 million vaccines were shared between the provinces, with KwaZulu-Natal, the epicenter of the disease, and the Free State, the province most affected by the spillover, each getting 200,000 doses. Opening the House of Traditional and Khoisan leaders in Parliament yesterday, Ramaphosa said they are expected to be government's ears and eyes on the ground to facilitate the ambitious campaign to vaccine the entire national herd.
So be rest assured that this devastating disease that is engulfing the country is going to be properly addressed, and we will make sure that there is equity. We will also make sure that there is effectiveness.
And following last week's consignment of 1 million vaccine doses that arrived from Argentina, Ramaphosa says he will be on hand to receive the next consignment.
And 1.5 million arrived just last week. Minister Steenhuisen received them. 5 million will be arriving, which I will receive, to give confidence to farmers in our country that vaccines are coming, and our own organization is also beginning to generate vaccines.
Public Works Minister Dean McPherson has ordered disciplinary action against an official arrested in connection with a 113 million rand schools tender corruption in Mpumalanga. The construction project manager appeared in court on Tuesday as part of a group of more than 30 people charged with fraud related to the emergency fixing of 21 schools in the province. McPherson says although his department had nothing to do with the tender, action will still be taken against the official following his arrest. The department places the burden of ensuring that vehicles are inspected by owners instead of department officials. The complaint stems from continued operations leading to scholar transports being impounded for not being roadworthy. Sinona says this is unfair.
Yeah. When the permits are released, they don't request to see the car physically. So how are they going to guarantee that that car they are issuing out the permit for is roadworthy?
Meanwhile, Gauteng traffic spokesperson Selo Maremane says the drivers should almost every 6 months go to the department to conduct these checks, preferably during school holidays.
We are saying to them during that period, December time, they can come to us so we can test this vehicle. They don't have to wait for that 6 months period to assess roadworthiness thereof.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng with scattered showers and thunder showers expected later. The temperatures will peak at highs between 27 and 28.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 South. This is between the Baku interchange and Winnie Mandela Drive due to a major accident scene. And there's also queuing traffic in Tembisa along the R21 North, approaching Olifantsfontein Road due to roadworks.
The top story this hour, President Cyril Ramaphosa is promising vaccine equity as the Agriculture Department's foot and mouth disease campaign gains momentum.
The Midday Report.
Weekdays,
12 to 1.
Do these results surprise you?
The results do not surprise me. The results are consistent with what 2021 study. In that period, we have been closely studying different best practices in other countries. We've been looking at various evidence-based interventions, and different provinces have been piloting new foundation phase literacy project based on these evidence-based interventions.
The Midday Report
With Mandy Wiener.
12 to 1 on 702.
702.
I heard her interviews run smoother because she somehow finds the right people the first time around.
Yeah, it's like she already knows who fits where before they even sit down.
She must have gone for special training, like some Sixth Sense HR certificate.
No, guys, it's SA Youth, the largest youth online recruitment platform. It's fast to post, effortless to use, and effective every time.
Recruit on the portal to potential. sayouth.co.za. Powering South Africa's youth workforce.
In life's most challenging moments of loss, compassion can be your greatest comfort. You shouldn't have to face the financial burden of losing a loved one by yourself. Rest assured, Clientele's funeral plans pay out cash within 24 hours. You can cover up to 13 family members on one plan, ensuring all your loved ones are taken care of, and 3 children are covered at no additional cost. With Clientele, you're not just buying a plan, you're also buying peace of mind. When the time comes, you will need to make important calls with your 200 Rand airtime you will receive when you claim. Plans offer double accidental death cover, as well as transport, grocery, and unveiling benefits. Apply today. It's easy. There are no medical examinations and no paperwork. SMS funeral to 31586. That's 31586. Clientele Life is an authorized FSP and licensed life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
Guess what? The Dis-Chem 2+1 Health Foods Weekend is back. And this time, it's better than ever. Simply pick any 3 of your favorite healthy foods and get the cheapest one free. Look out for the Better Rewards icon and score an extra 10% off Better Rewards brands on top of the promo. We're talking anything from muesli, oats, sauces, spices, healthy snacks, free-from foods, and more. Don't miss Dis-Chem's 2+1 Health Foods Weekend, Friday 27 February to Sunday 1 March. Only at Dis-Chem. Better health starts here.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Good morning, Bongani and the team. I heard Paul O'Sullivan yesterday saying that he bought his own flight ticket, so he will forfeit it if he doesn't leave. I was surprised to hear that people who attend the parliamentary inquiry are buying their own flight tickets. So if it is true that he bought a ticket, then I support him by leaving, because he was going to be the one who's buying another ticket. But if it was bought by Parliament, then he should have sat down and continued with the inquiry. And when it is finished, the Parliament was going to make a plan that he returns to Johannesburg. So it depends on where the truth lies, Bongani. But other than that, walking out of Parliament without a valid reason is not acceptable. Nice show, guys. Have a nice day. Zamo in Pretoria. Bye.
Hi, Bongani. Trust you well this morning. I heard this clip of Julius Malema. Why must he bring race in all the time? Things happen. In this country also, lots of things are happening. It's not a matter of race, but he will point out race first. He'll play the race card. That is how he's been doing it from the time his party started. He plays the race card and plays the target all the time. Be genuine. He's got this position. They've given him this position. Just be genuine in this position and say what you have to say. Don't play the race card, man, because then you become a loser in that case. Mohammed Kempton Park.
Hi, it's Des here from Boksburg. I heard what Malema had to say. When Jacob Zuma walked out of the Zondo Commission, he didn't have any of the racist comments. So why bring in the race card? The action, if it's the same, why bring out the race card in one and not in the other? Doesn't make sense, does it?
Let's start with the whole flight issue. And that was Paul O'Sullivan's point, that he was there voluntarily. And I suppose that's the difference between coming of your own volition versus being subpoenaed, in which case whoever has brought you to appear has to then ensure how you get there, including, I would imagine, paying for your flights. What about race as a trigger? Are there, and is it fair to say that someone can be so traumatized that even perhaps when it doesn't apply, their gut reaction will be, it's race, or whatever the trigger might be? Does that then justify Malema's reaction to what he saw yesterday? Or, as Mohammed, I think, suggests, hang on a minute, what's good for the goose has to be good for the gander. Why didn't he use race when Zuma walked out? Or would you say Malema is just one of those people who is race triggered? And is that justifiable?
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, I have decided that my Orlando Pirates t-shirt that I'm wearing proudly, I've plastered it all over my social media. I'm not hiding it. I've decided it's good luck.
Yeah, but you've never ever hidden yourself away from the fact that you support Orlando Pirates. Yes. Let's not kid. You wear that with absolute pride.
But there are people like you and Muteo who believe wearing it before the match day jinxes it. You can wear it any other time, not before the match day.
Yes, because you are an adult and the rest of us are children to believe that one little person wearing a cloth over their bodies will affect the outcome of a soccer game. But it's the closest Soweto rivalry that we've had in years, with only 8 points separating Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs. And a win for Pirates, they go top. A win for Chiefs puts them third and only 5 points behind the leaders with a game in hand. Chiefs striker Lekanyisa Mayo.
It's a minor setback that we can also, as players, to say we can catch up with the top 3 teams that are in front of us. But for us, it mainly is to focus on the game on Saturday, to say if we get this 3 points, it closes the gap, reduces the gap to 5 points.
I hope I don't live to regret this, but it is good to see a resurgent Kaizer Chiefs.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
it makes football just a lot more interesting.
Well, it makes everything exciting.
Yeah.
Tonight, Magesi hosts Polokwane Stellenbosch against Amazulu. In the Premier League tonight, Wolves are playing Aston Villa. Tomorrow, Manchester City away at Leeds. On Sunday, Arsenal host Chelsea. That's after Man United have played Crystal Palace. At the T20 Cricket World Cup, India and the West Indies Super 8 game on Sunday is now a knockout, with the winner going to the semi-finals. This after the Proteas beat the West Indies by 9 wickets and India beat Zimbabwe by 72 runs. The Proteas are through to the semi-final. Today, England already through to the semis take on New Zealand. New Zealand must win to keep their hopes alive. In golf, the second round of the Investec SA Open underway in Stellenbosch, where Dean Burmester and Dean Joe have moved 1 shot clear of the pack. They're both on 6 under through 4 holes. In the United Rugby Championship, Lions hooker PJ Buerta looking forward to the battling the Stormers pack at Ellis Park tomorrow.
The Stormers is one of the best scrums in South Africa, and I think the South African scrums are the best scrums in the whole ERC. So actually this couple of home derbies we have is quite a big test for the scrum, and that's actually what we like to measure with, because that's how we can improve. One place that the Stormers are better is they like to get the heat a bit better, but I believe there's lots of opportunities for us in that, and if we stick to our systems, I believe we can have a good day in scrums.
Kickoff tomorrow is at 2:30. After that, the Bulls host the Sharks. Andre Esthuizen is back to lead the Sharks, but Apalele Fassi out with a shoulder injury. And the 2026 MotoGP season opens in Thailand tomorrow. The sprint race scheduled to start at 10. The main race is on Sunday. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. You could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. It's a 8:45. I almost said it's a 8:45. It's a 8:45. It's a busy Friday.
It is indeed, Bongani, especially if you're traveling on the N1 South towards Fourways or Bryanston. Delays coming out of the Baku interchange due to that accident that happened right after Rivonia Road. There's also queuing traffic on the N1 North between Winnie Mandela Drive and Rivonia Road while traveling in Midrand. Expect delays on the N1 North towards Allendale Road. And then as you are traveling towards the Bedfordview area, expect delays between Edenville Road and the Glulies interchange. I'll have more updates at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. Like a businesswoman on the way to the airport after sleeping through her alarm. Bags in the back, boarding pass on the dashboard. She prays she'll make her flight.
Hope I make it.
The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's the potential closing of a big deal. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005, in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Aren't you tired of hearing how tough every bucky is? Tough this, tougher that, and being tougherer. But what about a bucky that's actually evolved? Confidence when you need it. Modern comfort because you deserve it. And next-gen tech that's, well, just smarter. Introducing the Chang'an Hunter range from only 5,299 Rand per month. Test drive SA's Better Balanced Bucky today. T's and C's apply.
Chang'an. Driven to evolve.
Hi, this is Teko Modise, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Be a winner who knows when it's time for a timeout and play responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No person under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
In business, sustainability should share dividends with more than just shareholders. Let's make ROI include a return on integrity.
Get financial solutions for environmental and social impact. With RMB, sustainability yields more than good intentions. T's and C's apply. RMB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider.
Coming up
On the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
Oh, look who's back, Clement Manyatela.
Hello.
Popping up on a Friday?
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Confuse the enemy.
You must confuse the enemy. Sometimes they think they know you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, go down a bit, and then when they think you're gone, you're like, on a Friday.
I'm up. I'm up. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm
because
glad
it's
to
a
be
Friday.
Here. It's a Friday.
What's on the show?
So, on the show today, I'll start with your favorite feature at 11 o'clock.
Yes.
It's our relationship and sex feature. And today we're going to talk about how to navigate a sexless relationship.
A what?
A sexless relationship
A what?
or marriage.
A what?
They do exist.
A what?
Sexless.
A what?
They do exist.
A what?
That's what we're talking about. It looks like you need to listen to that conversation, actually, yeah? So that you can hear what it is about. How about that?
I'm okay being that way on my own. I don't need somebody else
to have a sexless relationship with. Well, we'll talk about how to navigate that because it is normal for physical intimacy to wane after the first few years of a relationship, and often it's due to things like stress or their kids around now, their health issues, relationship problems. I mean, medication side effects also can affect your libido. But how do you deal with that quote-unquote dry spell? That's at 11 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, we're going to do our Across the Desk feature. And today we're hosting 702 listeners on Across the Desk. So I try bringing our listeners, 702 listeners, at least 3 times a year to hear from them.
Is Kusta's back?
No. We've had Kusta's twice. Yes. I think that's enough.
That's what I'm asking.
There are other listeners you'll hear about.
Rent a listener.
And then we're going to start with the 702 open line. Today, we're going to reflect on what happened in Parliament yesterday and what happened in the city of Johannesburg Council as well.
Stephen Groote sent a very interesting voice note on the show this morning, which I think is really worth thinking about. How does Malema get to be that upset for contempt of Parliament when he himself has been in contempt of Parliament once or twice with the heckling of the presidents? I think it's going to be a very interesting open line. Clement Manyatela on your radio between 9 and 12.
Okay, truck 7, that has 0 warning lights. Truck 8, it's just been serviced. I guess we're running like a well-oiled machine. Where would I be without My Way's comprehensive cover for my vans and trucks? Plus, cover for my customers' orders with goods and transit insurance. I guess we'll never know.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
Horse stuff? Why is there a horse in your driveway?
You right, Savvy. Why drive a Mustang when you can ride one?
What the missus say?
Well, she had a bit of a long face, but now she's stable.
If you need a backup plan, We Buy Cars can sort you out.
Nah, Savvy, this thing is eco-chic.
Stop horsing around, cowboy. Rather get one of these from We Buy Cars.
What's the horsepower on that thing?
More than one, Dorf. More than one.
Don't be Dorf, be savvy. We Buy Cars. Geared for adventure, geared for you.
Buy any Hills pet food and you could win one of 10 holidays worth 200,000 Rand each. Or take the bucks. Scientifically proven formulas for your pet. An adventure for you. Hills Pet Nutrition. Science does more. T's and C's apply.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
All right, we've been talking about these cabinets on the corners of Rivonia and West Street in Sandton. And it all turns out to be part of a marketing campaign by Cell C. And it's really all about innovating with your business and how old ways don't help you adapt to the new way of doing business. If you've got outdated systems, there's so much that can be affected, from poor service right down to insecurity, particularly when it comes to cyber security. Cell C wants to position itself as an ally of business that will help you walk through your journey and face the challenges that are ahead. They want to make sure that your connectivity, your cloud-enabled solutions are customized for your business, but ultimately that there is a human being behind the support you get. So we've got Chris Lazarus, who is, of course, the Chief Officer for Sales, Regions and Customer Care from Cell C, joining us. Chris, a very good morning to you. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, Bongani. Thank you very much for having me.
So when I first saw those cabinets, I was reminded of, and I said this on air, I don't know if you heard it.
I did.
I was on the beach some years ago, and this group of women came, and they were wearing these red habits, like nuns. And I thought, oh, yes, of course, of course, nuns must also go to the beach, right?
Absolutely.
And they laid there in their habits, supposedly sunbathing, and paid no mind. About 5-10 minutes into it, they disrobed, only to emerge in Baywatch bikinis with Celsi all over them. And that certainly got my attention, and I remembered it. And I suspect for anybody who would have seen those filing cabinets this week, that's certainly a moment to remember. But what was that all about?
Yeah, Bongani, thank you very much. You know, when you started with the nuns in the robe story, and now I'm thinking about dirty little secrets, and this could go many ways.
You
But
thought,
thank you very much.
that's not quite what, yeah.
Anyway, we'll
you got
bring
my
it back.
attention
Yeah,
and my
thank you,
memory,
thank you.
right?
So I'm really glad that worked. And in 2026, we wanted to use something that just created a simple resonate. There's a filing cabinet. There are people out there, businesses mainly, and it's not about being embarrassed by this. We're not trying to call anybody out because it's a reality for many of us, including us sitting. You don't think about the things that you save. Where do you save it? Backup. You don't think about your cybersecurity. You don't think about those things. And it's not because of a lack of desire. Some people think about affordability. Fair enough, no problem. But what we almost want to do is demystify the topics that seem like, no, it's not for me. People don't realize that they're in the cloud already. Every business out there that's using WhatsApp, and I can't think of any business that's not got WhatsApp, even if it's not WhatsApp business, that's a cloud business. So people are using this, and we want to resonate so that we could position that a conversation starts around this.
It's so hard, though, to be an entrepreneur. You're trying to get your little SME off the ground. You've got so many things to worry about, from sales, from staffing, making sure that you're compliant with whatever regulations are required. It could feel, and tell me if I'm wrong, it could feel that thinking about cloud services, that's higher grade stuff. I want to get the simple basics first. Or is that a mistake?
I think it's a mistake, Bongani, and that's the problem, and therein lies the opportunity that what we want to help customers do is what's creating that feeling that you have, no different to a lot of businesses, is that it feels like it comes with complexity. And I think that's what we want to start in this conversation, is that it doesn't need to be complex. And don't think about this as all-encompassing. You're not going to go from zero to hero in solving anything. You're going to start with the little bits and bytes. And that's what this conversation starter is about. We want to understand the needs. We want to say to businesses out there that, listen, we don't sit here today with a pre-packaged product. I don't want to assume that me sitting here at Cell C knows and understand every part about your needs and your challenges and what you see as your goals. I want to have that conversation with you. And that's why we don't talk about services today. We don't talk about cloud services. We talk about cloud solutions.
What's the biggest issue or challenge SMEs face when it comes to connectivity?
It's about having reliable connectivity. It's about having non-complex. For a small business, you'll talk about connectivity. If you're ignoring the affordability factor, you've got a problem. There's a guy living from hand to mouth, starting a small informal trading business, versus when you go to a medium-sized business, you talk about them needing enterprise-grade connectivity. So again, just coming down to the need. But I think where Cell C comes in is that we've understood this. We've done a lot of work in the last 2 years to solidify our network strategy of saying we, in the days of Uber, in the days of Airbnb, nobody goes on holiday and owns the hotel. So in a similar way, we've taken this strategic decision to say we're going to be CapEx light. We've got access now to 28,000. And in that 28,000 sites that we offer our customers, we've got this redundancy. And I think that word is also key. You're going to walk up to a business and say to them, listen, previously you had to put 2 SIM cards into your POS machine. And now I'm saying to you, you're only going to put 1 because we're going to straddle between the 2 networks.
Look, the obvious question some business owners will have is Cell C has struggled. You faced some difficulties in recent times. Why should businesses trust you that you'll go the distance with them?
Bongani, Cell C has gone through a transformational journey over the last 2 years. What we've done in the build-up to the listing has given us a huge change in the governance, the transparency, the capital structures of Cell C that we're now able to position. And basically what it's doing, it's allowing us now to focus on how we position parts of our business. We've turned around the prepaid. You and I were having a chat just now about your own personal experience. That network experience that you had from 36 months ago is completely been reversed. Customers don't talk about that network experience. In fact, the common thing that I see on social media these days is, hey, tell me if I'm correct, but I see Cell C's back. Well, we actually never went anywhere, but in a lot of customers' mind, because of the challenges with the network, which we've now largely overchanged and turned around, that's now allowed us to focus on things like Cell C Business.
So if you are talking to a business owner listening to us right now, why should they see for themselves?
Well, firstly, we think that businesses need an ally. They don't need an IT vendor. They need someone that comes along for the journey of understanding what the need is. And again, I say to you, that's why we sit here specifically today, not calling out a pre-packaged product at 99 Rand or whatever the price point is, but one that says, listen, we understand when we put those cabinets on the corner there of Sandton, we wanted to resonate with people to say, listen, we understand what you're going through. Don't be shy. We've created a human touch to this. Get in touch with us. Let's start the conversation.
How big was the buzz?
How big was the buzz? Well, fairly big. We're pretty happy from a marketing perspective that it achieved its objective. And you know how these things goes. It's not just about what happens there. It's the spillover effect that's now taking place. People are meeting me outside of this and saying, what's that you on the radio? What's this about? The same thing's happening with our staff. Same thing's happening with my other colleagues on the Exco. People are starting to talk. So we think that this will have a carry-on effect for a long time to come.
All right. Chris Lazarus is the Chief Officer for Sales, Regions and Customer Care.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of 702 Breakfast. You have yourselves a fantastic weekend. I know Pirates will win. I know Arsenal will win. It's going to be a good weekend. It's 9 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The city of Ekurhuleni suspended head of human resources, Linda Qashega, is expected to face her second day of testimony. Previous witnesses have testified that Qashega was part of a group of senior officials in the metro that shielded corruption-accused police deputy chief Julius Mkwanazi from accountability.